All right, guys. Let's be real. There's not a lot going on, and I've been seeing little bits and pieces. People keep asking me to watch stuff about like Bowblax and a few other people, and I don't know, Keffels, and I don't care about that. Like things are just going crazy. Apparently, Bowblax has an alt account that doesn't get views on Twitter, and he says some crazy stuff sometimes, and some people are losing their minds. I guess I mean, Ethan apparently covered it in his last thing, so we're gonna have him do all the work for us, because that's the kind of guy I am. That's it. And so let's see what we got.
We'll do the segment because it's fun, and then we'll do some tater juice. Bowblax. Oh, but I wanted to talk about the Bowblax leak. Did you hear about this?
No.
Bowblax all got leaked, and it's in.
We can do that first if it's short.
It is so fucking funny and so bad.
So interesting that Ethan really likes Bowblax.
I was joking. This is like the worst alt exposed maybe of all time.
I'm down to do that first.
What about the alt-right? This guy. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't even know. He can't stay consistent in his value. I don't know.
Okay. Let's skip ahead to the Bobby leak.
Okay.
Ooh. I talked a little bit about it. I want to make one thing clear for the sake of Bobby.
Yeah.
Yes.
We did invite him on the show.
Okay. On this show
invited him on,
or
to
the
the
live
show
show?
because we thought it'd be funny if he was in the audience and he's like, "Stop laughing at Sonic" or whatever.
That would have been amazing.
And then he was like, "I don't." He said, "The man has a lot of respect for himself." He says, "I don't want to be a human jukebox, so I'll pass." And fair to him.
Oh wow! I guess I get that. He doesn't want to be too much of a meme. Hey, respectable. I get it.
Okay.
Frankly, I was like, wow.
I was like, "Cool,
Wow.
good for you, bro." I mean, I didn't.
More self-respect than that.
I wasn't planning on bringing him out there to make fun of him. I thought it'd be like a fun mutual thing. But
Yeah.
if that's how he perceives it, then that's
Right.
then that's
It's gonna
fair.
be like you wanted to hear like a Q&A from the audience, and then he would yell for you to talk about the allegations or something.
That would have been.
And then he
so
would be in an
awesome.
auditorium full of people applauding for him.
Dude, they would have.
He would have been rock star.
It would have been so
Yeah, it
awesome.
would've
But
been
People
okay.
would have loved on Bobby. That's what it is. The thing is, people.
He's allowed to feel about it however he feels. You know, it's fine.
When people join the family, it's all love. That's what it is.
Audio
For
is
real.
slightly
Always.
delayed.
Until they're all sleep.
Because he was tripping, I guess he was. So I want to make that clear for his sake, because he was, I guess, angry that I implied that we said no to him, not he said no to us. But
I went back and watched it, and
Got
like
him.
you didn't, unless you may have looped back to it later, but like when we were talking about it, I understood how he interpreted that way, but you didn't actually say that that's what, like we didn't say this came out and now we're canceling on him or anything like that.
So the reason I just wanted to clarify it is because before I show him saying this insane shit on his alt, I just want to make it clear.
Wow, listen to Ethan lying, saying they weren't going to meme him. I don't think. I mean, they're going to have a little meme on him, but that doesn't mean it was going to be like a disrespectful meme. I don't think Ethan was going to try to like a dumpster Bowblax.
That we offered the invite before we saw the alt.
Before this.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But he said no to us. He rejected us.
Okay.
And that,
Yeah, he did
that DM wasn't even the DM that he shared was my DM. That was me and him talking, not Ethan. He cropped out the
Right.
names and everyone
Right,
thought that was
AB
Ethan.
Wow, AB can't even let Ethan have a moment. He's got to make sure that we know who's the real man around here.
He was cooking up
Maybe had an
something.
idea.
I had the idea.
And-
It's my
Who's the
fault.
real
It's not your
man?
fault. I
fault.
like
I thought it was a great idea.
funny.
but
I
it's
know,
not
no,
your
yeah,
fault.
no.
I thought it was a good idea.
Hey, it's not your fault.
No, it was a good idea, AB.
Yeah.
It was good. I love the initiative you take on stuff like
I ran
that.
over my skirt. Okay.
So Bobby said at this point,
Dinosaur.
H3 pays more attention to what I do than I pay attention to him. What the fuck? Come on, Bobby.
Is that true? I guess I haven't. Well, we've actually watched the Bowblax video on Aiden Ross, so maybe that is true. That would be surprising, dude. That would be surprising. Bowblax is in an interesting position though, because a lot of people like him. He's a nice guy. I think it's kind of hard to dislike Bowblax, to be honest with you. He's a nice guy. So yeah, I mean, he's got it lucky.
Bobby.
Once Hassan and Ethan are done, maybe the next thing will be Bowblax and Ethan. You know.
Bowblax. He says, I barely talk about him anymore, but if I do anything that could be seen as bad, he pounces on it. I mean, okay. So that's what you do, bro. That's your whole career.
That's the game, exactly.
That's the game, Bobby.
Well, in
the game.
Bowblax's defense, he doesn't really do that necessarily. He finds other people. He makes the Twitter videos. He doesn't really weigh him on. Jesus, I can't speak. He doesn't really weigh in on the controversy unless he has a. Maybe I don't know. Maybe he does. I don't think so though. My understanding. But yeah, I think he's probably just feeling a little upset because I think that there's like a lot of heat on him. I think Keffels. My understanding was Keffels got involved and got very upset with him, and they had like a little interaction or whatever. And so there's probably a lot of people on Twitter getting a little upset at Bowblax. So maybe I'll watch more into that conversation after. I'm not sure if I'm super interested in that, but we'll see.
Bobby.
What is this?
He says, I legit have to walk on eggshells during my 20 to 50 viewer streams because I know if I slip up, I'll get posted to H3 subreddit and covered by Ethan. So you know how it feels to be one of the people you obsessively talk about. I don't care, though. I don't think of, I mean, yeah, that's how the internet works, bro.
Yeah.
Yes.
That just means that, like, you're important enough on the internet.
You're relevant.
Yeah, it means you're relevant.
That's
you go.
just anybody.
Based.
If you're
You guys remember when I used to be relevant? Bro, I don't know what it is. I'm going to have a vulnerable moment because I'm a real high value man. But I've been like really feeling like shit lately, you know? You know, I've been, for some reason, I'm seeing so many other people, you know, rising up, and they've been at the game so much longer than me, and they deserve it so much more. But, you know, I see like, you know, Ethan and Destiny and even Hassan, and, you know, I see other people, they're really slamming hams on the internet, and I'm like, wow, God bless them. And then I'm like, damn, like, what did I do? You know, I mean, like, at the end of the day, I got my TikTok lost, you know, and then, like, I restarted the channel, the YouTube channel, and it's like, you know, damn. Like, I look back and I go, wow, like, I really wish, like, I just was better. You know what I mean? I wish I was just, like, a better person sometimes, you know? It's like, damn. And I'm doing well. It's just that it gets a little rough when, you know, the first 3 years of my career was basically just me trying to figure everything out in different ways. And, you know, taking a bunch of L's. And I've talked to my wife about this, and she thinks I should be happy with the personal growth that I've made this year, even though I'm doing, like, financially less than I was last year and stuff. And even influentially, you know, I used to have, like, a very high impact. And I get that, you know, she's very supportive, but it's hard, you know, as a man, and I don't know if it's a man thing, but it's hard to, you know, look back and go like, wow, like I used to be in a position where a lot of people looked at what I said and they had respected me, and how I tarnished my own career, and I probably upset some people who really looked up to me, which is cringe to say, but there were people, and here we are now. You know, we had a successful TikTok, and then we threw that away. We had a successful YouTube, and then we threw that away. And now we're sitting at like 26K, which is so much, which is good compared to a lot of people. You know, I'm living like a dream, but it's just like, damn, you know, it's just, it kicks your ass a little sometimes, you know? So I'm in a little bit of my feels sometimes. Yeah, to be honest, it's just, it's just, you know, I feel it too. You know, I'm trying not to let it impact me and make me like do anything rash or anything. But it's just like, oh, you know, it makes me want to go get White Castle. You know, makes me want to, makes me want to eat like shit. But hey, it's okay for men to cry, guys. It's okay for men to cry.
you're live, you
okay.
have to think about that.
Yeah, just don't. You know, I'm live all the time, bro.
Yeah.
I do this shit.
I have to think about that.
Yeah.
Everybody does.
He's like, bro, I can't even say the N word without it getting posted to the subreddit. Huge reason why I make my stream VODs members only is because of that. Okay, I mean, shit.
Good on you.
What do you want from me? Look forward to him lying more on Friday when he covers my alt account where I'm totally not playing a character and everything I say is real. Okay, listen.
Damn.
As I go through the alt,
You think that was a little bit of subtle anti-Semitism? Everything is real. What are you trying to say, Bowblax? You know, I've seen a little bit of it. You know, here's what I'll say. You know, I enjoy a bit of edginess myself. Who doesn't enjoy it being a little bit edgy? But I will say that, you know, even if it's just a little bit of a joke, maybe there's something to think about. You know, not making those jokes in a public place on Twitter, even if it's not your account. You know, maybe. But as you get older, man, you realize that, you know, sometimes you kind of gotta, I don't want to be condescending, but like grow up a little bit. And if you're making super edgy jokes, especially my understanding is that people are interpreting them as transphobic, you know, maybe there's something to think about with like, hey, maybe tone it down a little bit. You know, do your edgy jokes in with your friends. I do. I don't care. But then in the real online and stuff, maybe it's time to tone it down a little bit and, you know, just chill out a little. Because some people are going to extend courtesies to you, of course, people who understand like edginess and whatnot. But then some people are going to be like, this really turns me off. And sometimes you turn somebody off once and they are done with you for life. So, you know, just something to consider.
Remember, Bowblax is playing a character, Throbbing Horsecock.
From Among Us.
Right.
Oh,
The
beautiful
handle
character.
is Throbbing Horsecock, and I see that the little subtitle is "Mine's Bigger." So
So just remember, this isn't
very
This
big.
is Bobby's alt, but it's a
It's
character.
a character.
From
Yeah.
Among Us.
I'm just being as real as I can.
We're in acting class.
Okay.
He is being
Everything he
as
says
real
on
as he
it
can.
is real, which he means everything I say is just a joke. So it's just a
Right.
joke, and this is Throbbing Horsecock.
Oh, whoa, just took some
It's a
damage
prank,
there.
bro.
So here's some of the awesome tweets.
How was it revealed that it's his alt?
How it always is. He was like streaming and then clicked his Twitter, and then they saw the name and icon, and then they find it on Twitter, and they're like,
Wait, who exposed him then? If he was streaming, because like, doesn't he have a smaller streaming audience? That's not like an insult or anything. He just said that he gets like 20 to 40 viewers. So was somebody hate watching him to expose the alt? Because I'm gonna be real with you, bro. That's pretty shitty. I'm gonna tell you something. Way back in the day, this is a fake story, by the way. When I was like first starting TikTok, you know, I was driving my car and I was streaming on something on a platform. This was like 3 years ago, like unironically, years ago. And I got into a little bit of road rage. And I might have said a bad word, you know. I might have said a very inappropriate word that I'm not proud of. Not the N word, don't worry. It's, you know, as long as it's not that word, we're okay. And I had 150 people watching, and not a single person, there's not a single clip of it in existence. There's not a single clip of it that exists. I didn't turn off the stream. I don't even think I took it down. I think I just came off the stream and left it up. And not a single person clipped it and said anything about it. Yeah, I was like, wow, that's some real people there, you know. I got some real fans, but this guy's got like 20 people watching, and they go and they find his alt. That's terrible. Fake fans, you know, fake fans.
like, oh shit,
Got it.
this is epic. So he wrote in 2019, trans women aren't real women, but I'd still fuck the shit out of them.
Okay.
That's just him playing a character.
Well, it's also 2019. Who cares? Like, whatever. Who really gives a shit? 2019. Okay. Don't do that anymore. 4 years ago.
wait. I want to point something out. This is the tweets that he included.
Yeah, this is.
Oh, he
his
tweeted
own
this
tweet.
out.
Right. So he's giving these as the examples. So keep that in mind
So
because
these are
I'd fuck for Joe Biden. Oh, me too.
the tame ones.
you'll notice that these are all from 2019.
Okay.
There's newer ones.
Okay.
what I'm
Oh, are
trying to
there
say.
newer ones?
So yeah, these
Okay.
ones are from 2019, so it's a little bit dated, I guess.
Yes.
We've come a bit of ways since 2019,
Yeah. Well,
but he still fuck them.
Right.
That's in a sense.
Fuck the
Progress?
shit out of them.
I'm not sure what that is.
I'd fuck
I'm
Joe
not sure
Biden.
It's just a character. It's a,
maybe they're constipated. Maybe he's doing him a favor. You know, you don't know. You don't really know anything. You know.
joke.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd fuck
Yeah,
Joe
honestly,
Biden.
he's not serious
Joe.
about fucking Joe.
Character.
He said Trump liberals are restarted. Again, these are the ones he posted.
Ah.
I'd rather be enslaved to some hot ass babe rather than a bloody old man who gets nailed to the cross like a cuck. I don't know what the fuck that
I
means.
think he's,
I think he's talking about Jesus. Who's the babe? I don't understand. What's so weird?
maybe talking about Jesus.
Take this huge L. Oh, thank you, Lena. Get on Gab. Should I whatever. So let's get to the good. So these are the good ones, right?
Okay. So these are recent now.
Well, this is more
Okay,
of
This is more coping.
More
And by the way,
coping.
this was just on Friday because I was like, yo, we saw Bobby's alt. It's awesome. That's all I said. I was like, we don't have time to get to it. And then he had a meltdown.
On Wednesday. Yeah. You
said-
said
yeah, on Wednesday.
He posted the clip of it. He says, Ethan Klein said on Issue Positive, they invited me on the live to be human soundboard, but changed his mind after my racist alt got leaked. Dude, I literally rejected the invite last Thursday, 4 hours after it was sent. Why are you lying and saying it's because of the alt? Correct.
Damn,
You
Bowblax is
rejected
a little
us.
upset.
It had nothing to do with the alt. That's all you, bro.
Ah.
Like, you can have that.
W.
You rejected us, man. And it hurt. But I get
Yeah,
it.
it hurt.
We're going to miss you at the live show. We really will.
Can't always get what you want, Ethan.
No. Like not having cancer.
Whoa.
Wow, incredible.
What the fuck?
What is this whole essay?
This is my new favorite copy pasta.
It's the manifesto.
Holy shit.
This is Chat GPT.
This needs to
Can
be
you
a
write me an
copy pasta.
apology if a racist, transphobic alt account of mine is leaked?
Oh my god.
I don't think I've said how I feel about being a soundboard meme on H3, so I'll say it here and then move on. My sense of humor is pretending to... Hold on one sec. I'm going to send Zach a note. I don't think I've said how I feel about being a soundboard meme on H3, so I'll say it here. Move on. My sense of humor is pretending to be absurd.
Stop!
Oh, hold on, let me get through this. In the past, that come in the forms of stuff like the BLM song, which is
Classic.
it's an iconic song.
Classic.
I heard about that song. It's a little interesting. It's a little rough.
Iconic.
Hey,
Where
but
I
God bless.
where I pretend to be a black guy who wants to kill everyone else.
Yep.
That sounds really good. That was in 2016. Since then, I've kept that sense of humor, but used it in ways that aren't harmful. Like stop laughing at Sonic, which is iconic. We love that one.
Stop laughing at Sonic!
And other gags I make in my comedy videos, like the Zelda review I did last week. Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh.
Stop!
Chill. Let me get through this, bro. I love that this side of me is highlighted on HG Podcast with the memes. Okay.
This is why I'm watching.
You are funny.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
yeah, we honor you.
yeah.
I think it's funny.
Okay.
I just don't like when it's portrayed as how I actually am.
What's that
I'm
mean?
telling people that alt is just an act.
This isn't even about the alt. He's just saying like
This is not about the old.
he doesn't
it's just about
like
the sound
he's not
bites.
always screaming completely unhinged like that. He's
I
trying
am
to say
all the
So
time.
you're pretending
he's,
no one gives
he's
a
playing
fuck
it up
about
for comedy's sake.
Are you fucking kidding me? He literally just
Me not screaming is actually the act. All right, I'm always screaming when I'm offline. When I'm playing Heroes of the Storm, I'm just screaming. A dead game, yelling about a dead game. It's incredible. Not that often, but sometimes.
This is the video he's talking about. LGBTQ plus cucking pedo Jews.
Incredible.
He was just a character, though.
This is the awesome, hilarious
What?
video he uploaded.
Wait, what?
How is
I don't
this
know
about
anything
Zelda?
this. What is that?
I just looked up Bowblax Zelda. This is 10 days ago.
Zelda?
This is a bit of. I saw that thumbnail. I just stayed away from it, bro. That's wild, man. I just saying, that digital footprint. Bowblax is going farther than any of us, if we're being honest, and it'd just be a good thing to maybe start now with kind of gearing yourself up to just look a little more professional, maintain some of that edginess within reason. Jesus Christ, what is this?
Too woke? What?
I think it's a joke.
I think he's like
Okay,
he's-
because
he's
I'm
joking.
like, I've seen the game. I don't know what.
But still, that even with the joke, that thumbnail is pretty out of pocket, brother.
Slightly delayed.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And it's the I'm a surgeon face. So anyway, I love the blah blah blah. I really wish the HG audience was aware that I'm playing it up for fun and not actually unhinged. Now they know.
Okay, cool. We
reason-
still love the sound bites. I mean, they're
This
just
can't be the
fun.
end of the dungeon, is it?
The reason why I was open to coming on as a guest is because I'd like to clear that up and show the normal
we go.
side of me. I did an AMA on the H3 subreddit last year, and his fans really enjoyed seeing me express myself as a person and not a living meme. Which is, frankly, why I thought it'd be fun to have you be a part of the live show. I wasn't just going to have him say one thing. It'd be more interactive than that. Probably bring him up, talk to him for a little bit. So I'm sure the podcast viewers who aren't on Reddit would also enjoy an H3 podcast episode with me as a guest. Yes, everybody wanted the Bobby episode. I love when people invite me on, or invite themselves on. Yeah. Your guests would love me.
100.
I would also have an opportunity to talk about autism to a larger audience, with something that I think would help a lot of his audience to hear about. Fair?
Fair.
You can call in and talk about this stuff. Unfortunately, Ethan's only interested in using my jokes and humor to paint me as a schizo. Not a schizo. Also, that's not how you spell schizo. To laugh at rather than making it clear it's a joke and letting us all enjoy the mayhem of my antics together with no bad blood.
I don't see bad blood. Where is the bad blood?
No one gives a fuck about you.
I don't know. I just said his alt was funny, and then he freaked the fuck out. I think he's scared of what's in that. The Throbbing Horsecock alt account is going to be showed on his podcast tomorrow.
This is the beginning of the part that I think should be a copy pasta.
Okay. Okay. So he's predicting his fate. He's doing reading the tea leaves. The Throbbing Horsecock alt account is going to be showed on his podcast tomorrow and will be portrayed in a light that isn't favorable to me. Well, to be fair, how do you portray trans women isn't real women, but I still fuck the shit out of them?
That's based as fuck, dude. I feel like if you would fuck them, then that means that that's a step in the right direction, right? I think that we could say that. I think that's fair. It's a step in the correct direction. Right? I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
That statement portrays itself.
Is that okay?
You say what you say.
But it's old. That was old one. Let's look at the new stuff and then decide. The account existed for over 10 years and is used to follow blocked accounts. Occasionally, when I was bored, I'd use the account to say absurd things with the theme that I'm a horny guy who's unhinged and ready to fuck anyone, including Joe Biden.
That sounds like me, bro. Honestly, Jesus Christ.
While saying the N-word a lot.
A lot.
What a character. Fleshed out.
One of my throbbing horsecock character attributes is that I say the N-word a lot.
He's really pushing the frontier.
That's what's interesting.
That's his
about
fatal
the
flaw. That's his
character.
character's fatal flaw.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't think it would be harmful because nobody
Yeah.
followed the account and nobody knew it was me. It was just having fun. Okay.
Okay.
We'll take that on.
How to like serious, all jokes aside. I remember I posted like a thing about iDubbbz or whatever, and at some point I was like, yeah, I don't really think he needs to apologize to himself that much. I don't think what he did was that big of a deal. I could see why it's like bad and he's apologizing. And then some people that weren't white were like, hey, you don't really get it because you're not white. And of course, as a white man, all I do is talk to the hand because I don't give a fuck. No, but I thought about that. You know, that didn't change my mind, but it made me think like, how do black people think about people just casually dropping like N-bombs as jokes? You know, because like as a guy who's been edgy myself, and I've never meant to be like rude or antagonistic about stuff. But like, you know, I look at that when I see people using that stuff, I'll be like, oh, that's not good. But like, I understand because like I'm an asshole and I see where people do it and like, you know, you shouldn't do it. But I wonder, like, I don't know. That probably really upsets. I know this is like a hot take. It's probably very upsetting to a lot of people. In a way that like obviously we'll never know. How the fuck am I gonna know? What are you gonna call me? That diminishes me. Nothing, right? Not to that degree. Right? I'm a based, you know, white guy. Privilege. My white privilege. My white privilege, you know? So, I wonder how black people or non-white people think about, like, people like, yeah, it's a bad word, but, like, you know, it's okay. Like, you're not a bad person kind of a, like, stuff. I wonder if that, like, really upsets them. It's like, oh, come on. You know, how many concessions can you give somebody? You know? I wonder if that's, I'm still going to give the concession. I don't think Bowblax is a bad person. I'm just saying, like, I wonder how it makes people feel. So,
The consideration.
Oh, I kept going.
Holy fuck, man. Holy shit.
Hey.
I care a lot about discrimination of all kinds and equal human rights because as an autistic person, I always feel I'm treated as lesser to everyone else, and I never want anyone else to feel the way I did growing up. Fucked up my self-esteem. Fair.
That's why I bully people on my secret alt account.
I'm so sorry to anyone who feels like they're lesser or the punchline of a joke because of my actions. I really don't want to hurt anyone, and knowing that my comments on that account will be shown to 100K plus people tomorrow, a lot more than that. Just not to toot my own horn. People tomorrow and that black viewers will see it and feel I'm treating them as a joke genuinely eats me up inside. Fair, good.
It's good that upsets you, but I would parallel that to saying bad boy words because there's some good people in that community. Well, I think most of them are. I mean, you know, some aspects like of any community can be toxic. I mean, you could look literally pretty much anywhere. But I mean, some of the normalized slur words are not that great. Maybe denormalize them, guys. Don't use them so much. I know it's funny, I guess. I don't know, but just chill out a little bit, because this kind of stuff obviously is going to happen, and people, you know, it's one thing to have a little bit of a slip up while you're having a little road rage on the car 3 years ago. It wasn't the N word though, so stop. But I think saying it a lot intentionally is obviously very probably not ideal, you know.
Get ahead of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My YouTube channel will be fine, but I fear my black viewers will see the account on H3 and feel like I think their culture is a joke. Well, I think this is a good moment for reflection that I've been through too. Sometimes you're like, again, I always make this comparison. You look at yourself in the mirror and you think, I'm not a hateful person. I love everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But there's certain times when you need to reflect on your action and say, even though I see myself as a good person, I am a good person, right?
I don't see myself as a good person, bro. That eats me up inside every day. I try to be better. You know what I mean? That's all I try to do.
This is a good time for reflection to see, like, okay, I perceive these as harmless jokes, but I'm not on the receiving ends of these, so it's not really my place to say they're harmless or even jokes. You know what I mean? If you're afraid that black people will see this and get offended, then it's probably offensive. You probably just shouldn't have said it. And that's okay. He's a young guy. How old is Bobby?
I think 26.
Let me see.
Don't say 30. Don't say 30. Don't
No,
say
no,
30.
he's younger. He's 26.
Wow, I was right.
Unfuckable, according to Pearl.
Fastest peak.
No, he's male.
hook
He's
him up.
good. He's good. He's good. His values on.
Oh, because male
He has
peak.
a different
Yeah,
set of
yeah,
rules.
yeah. No.
Yeah.
This only
Okay.
applies to women.
His rules are
Kidding?
very different.
Lucky you're not a woman.
He says, I have
Horse
felt
Cock still has
disrespect.
many years to kick.
So Bobby says, I have felt disrespected all my life, and it makes me so sad knowing I'm going to inflict that same feeling on other people just because they were born with specific skin color. So it sounds like,
Okay.
on one hand, you want to accept accountability and apologize, but on the other hand, you're unwilling to take accountability for it too.
Well, I think it's one of those things where, you know, I like Bowblax. Always going to make sure I give you a little trigger warning on that one. He's a nice guy, but it's interesting that, like, you understand, you know, how it could upset somebody saying some sussy baka words. But you prioritize, like, your joy of saying a slur over like the consideration to others. And I understand he did it on an alt account, but it's just something to think about. It's something to think about in general. Sometimes, we use very hurtful words or because they have a lot of shock value. That's probably where it's coming from. A lot of shock value. Woo! A lot going on. Just like the Uncle Fester game at Dave & Buster's that they no longer have. A lot of shock value. And so I get like it's like, oh, it feels funny. I have a little bit of a funny moment. Or if you say like a slur at somebody, then the R slur guys, because that's a bad one too. It may make you feel powerful, and I'm not talking about Bowblax specifically. I just mean like in general with people who like use that word in such a weirdly normalized way. But you're prioritizing like making a lot of people feel very uncomfortable, especially people who can identify with like different oppressions and stuff. So it's something to think about. Try not to be too much of a suspicious character from Among Us. You know what I mean? A little too much Among Us today.
I think he's close to making a good apology, even though we haven't even talked about
I
anything.
know.
Said.
I just want to see what's in there.
He said to ask Ethan to please make it crystal clear on Friday that the alt is me playing a character for fun, and the account has 2 followers.
Yeah, that doesn't work, bro.
Crystal clear.
Yeah, that's not. Don't say that.
I'm trying to be honest with you in the sense that I'm sympathetic, right? The character defense, it doesn't work. I'm just telling you. And listen, I'm just telling you that.
And
it just doesn't work.
kind of doubled down, dude.
Oh yeah, he's.
So the character defense is just like, hey, it's just a joke. But not all jokes are necessarily super appropriate. Tis what it is.
Let me finish this. Might talk about this in a YouTube video if Ethan ends up showing the account. Would also be a good time to address BLM song on my main since I've never done it.
BLM song.
I mean, that's funny, bro. I'm sorry.
We always get bullied. We always get bullied. Cause we are black.
I cannot.
What is this?
So again, he says I'm just playing a character, but this is good. This is an inflection point for you. This is a point of learning, which is good.
Okay.
The joke defense doesn't work ever.
Also, Bobby, did you and your buddies show Ethan any mercy when you guys used that charcoal challenge photo all the time?
Wait, he does that?
I can't remember exactly if it was him, but I can almost.
I'm gonna need to know if Bobby uses that one.
He does everything.
Really?
I'm not gonna speak, but Bobby and
My Bobby?
I'm not even gonna.
My Bobby? I don't know if he
goes
does.
for my black
You
challenge.
shouldn't say that he does that. He may have not. We don't know.
He may have not.
I mean, he's done and said everything there is about me.
Yeah, I wouldn't usually speculate on something like that, but I mean, he's been
you,
ruthless.
Bobby Lorna.
For you.
I mean,
If
just
you
saying
think
they've
so,
been
then
ruthless
maybe.
against Ethan, and
Yeah.
there's no way they
Ruthless.
actually believe all the shit they say.
Well, I think it's because he's kind of an asshole. Let's be real. Whether you think he's grown or not, he's a fucking asshole. Especially when he interacts with black content creators. Okay, I've said it the other day when we were looking at Pearl. Ethan is amazing when he's well, maybe not amazing. Relax. I'm not trying to fucking glaze the guy. He's pretty good when he talks to white people, but anytime he talks to a black person, something happens. I don't know what it is. That's why I say, Ethan, just segregate yourself. Don't interact with black people anymore. Be racist. No. At least from my opinion, it gets a little crazy sometimes. It is interesting though, because it's something to be said. Is that like he's showing a lot of charitability to the Bowblax, which I understand. He's a nice guy, but he's saying some crazy shit. But then, like, when it comes to Gideon, and I know this old stuff, and maybe Ethan's changed his mind, but it's something to consider. Where was that charity to Gideon? It is interesting the double standard there. It's just something to be said. I think. Try to spread that to everybody a little bit. A little charitability. Is that a word? What the fuck's happening, bro? I can't speak words today. I hate myself. Charity? Be more charitable. We did it. We did it, guys. To everybody. All God's creatures. Okay.
There's no way, like, you actually, like, these are, like, childish narratives that, like, he makes up. And, like, it just does it for views. And I don't know. He's just gone with it for a long time. So I'm sorry, Bobby, but,
I mean, he's being a little hypocritical, expecting me to be like, but at the same time, I'm not even gonna complain about the way he's covered me. I don't care. I love Bobby for who he is. For the man who hates Sonic. Or loves Sonic. For everything he is, I accept that. If I held a grudge or was angry about that, I wouldn't talk about you. I wouldn't invite you to my show.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Just want nothing to do with you.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to anyone I've hurt with my jokes. Please know that no matter what you look like or feel like from birth, that you're human.
I got a hedgehog right now. I haven't shaved in like a month. You get it? That's a dad joke. That's a father joke. I got a baby soon.
Beautiful words. Let's take a look at the tweets.
Incredible stuff.
I have one question though, and I still haven't seen it yet, the old account. But when he's saying that it's a joke and a character, is it clear to people just like on Twitter seeing the tweets does it say like parody account or you
No.
know
I think it's because it says horse
account
like
Boy,
slash
had, like,
s
no
at the end of the
followers.
tweet? So like why? I just wonder like how would that matter?
Wait.
You know,
Yeah.
if you put out like a racist tweet, for example, out there, even if
More
in
like
your head
a
you're joking,
fucking based
it's still
tweet,
like
am I right?
just
Nobody's
leaving
gonna know
as the
that you're
tweet
joking.
as a real person to somebody else.
Right, you're just an anonymous poster on
Fuck
Twitter.
is the
That's
strength.
The joke
There
defense
we
works
go,
in
baby.
zero situations. I'm just telling you that from experience. You know, as a man with lupus who's sitting here on the precipice of his demise,
Stop
listening
it.
to the Chestnut songs, tell me I have a lot of experience in this world.
We should add the Black Lives Matter song to the playlist of your.
Oh God, no.
The
Okay.
pre-show playlist.
Just Chestnut.
I went too far.
Cause we are black.
Wait, was he posting on our subreddit? Is this what this is from? I show the DMs in the clip. I'll show it here too. This is the DM he had with you. I mean, I already told him that he gets the dub on that one. Whatever. The DMs were between me. Blah blah blah. I don't care about this. You get the dub. You're the man. All right. So there's his apology.
Thank you for the
All
happy
right. Now let's go to
colors.
the alt. That was a lot of preparation, man. Here's Bobby with
I already
a
hit the
really
thing?
killer tweet from 2020. Don't say the N word. Which I
Wow.
agree with. I made that mistake.
Incredible.
All right, so let's fast forward. The account has since been deleted. So here we go, guys. Our boy, venture into the depths of our boy Bobby, aka Giant Horsecock, whatever. Robin Horsecock. Also, look at the.
I think that's a reference to Vaush. I think that's a reference to Vaush. I believe he likes that kind of stuff, you know. And hey, you know what? It's throbbing it up, baby. It is what it is. Who doesn't like a nice one? I remember, I don't, but I remember when I was a kid, this was something that I think sat with me for a long time. You know, this is the interesting thing about the internet. I remember looking up, so when I was like 12 years old, I would go to my mother's job because she would take me there. You know, she worked in like the city. You know, she was whatever. And I get bored sometimes, and I'd start wandering the computer for inappropriate websites. Actually, my mother got in trouble. Because you know, I was looking at that stuff logged in on her computer. But anyway, man, you go down like this rabbit hole. I know, and all of a sudden you end up at a horse hole. You know what I'm saying? That's how it used to be. I wonder if it's as bad now. But holy moly, man, the shit that you look up boobies, you spell it wrong, you know, because you're a kid and you're dumb, and all of a sudden, man, you're watching the fucking golden showers. And I remember in one video, a woman was wearing stiletto heels, and she stepped on a guy in a place, and he just started shooting. It was red, you know what I mean? It's scarring. And so that's how I saw my first one of those. You know, you're a kid, you can't help but like watch more. You know, it's incredible stuff. This is definitely something I should be expressing onto this platform. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
description, and this was the description as early as what, like 2 days ago?
Really?
What is this?
Good vibes.
There's a clip in there below where he was caught. He started changing it, but
We caught it all though, right? We got the receipt.
yeah.
Good vibes, LGBT or rainbow flag, horse, and then the aubergine, eggplant. Black 9 inches, hashtag N-word.
Okay.
Awesome.
Off to a strong start.
This was
Love
from.
it. You gotta love
This
it.
is all. It says 20 hours ago, so this is all like basically just happened yesterday, or the
Wow.
day before. Women always ask weird ass questions. We fucking or no? Oh, that was the Keffels. Damn, Keffels is thick. She's one of the real ones for sure. Pull up and I'll provide. Back off, Keffels. Tubby, she needs a real 9-incher right now.
Why does he keep saying stuff like that to Keffels? What the fuck? Why? What's the interest in trolling Keffels? I don't really get that.
Bowblax.
Okay, cool. Incredible stuff.
It's sex, Coco man. I don't know what the fuck that means. My queen Keff blocked me. I'm gonna kill myself by.
Incredible.
Keffel needs a man of God, not this tub of lard. DM's open, by the way.
He's quite committed to this character.
That's the tub. Oh, that's tipster. Okay. What the fuck? Oh my god, bro! It's so unhinged. It's giving me a little giggle. It's silly stuff. What are you doing? Are they like the best of friends now? Is that what's happening? Okay, cool.
He's posting a lot. The commentary community is so afraid of the N-word with a hard ER, he wrote it up there. But said it all the time when iDubbbz let him. This is from April 21st.
Okay.
This tweet is
date.
just N-word. Yeah, 2023. What did I say? This is from April 2023, yeah.
Is that?
N-word. Yeah, 2023. What did I say?
Wait,
This is from April 2023. Yeah.
So I'm trying to look at the tweet, but I'm in the middle of a
Last word.
Sorry.
Yeah. 2023.
Is that like how he feels about that though? Why would you say something like that unless you felt that way? The commentary community is so afraid of the N word. Well, he didn't say the N word all the time, but we're not. I'm confused. That one makes me question, like, hey, what's up with that, dog? Like, is that just a little joke, or is that you expressing your kind of like slurs don't matter kind of thing? And then, you know, whatever. But it doesn't really come off as a joke. That just comes off as like I could be honest about the way I feel because I'm on a different platforms. What that comes off as. It's a little rough, in my opinion. I think it's a little bit of a suspicious character on that one, but okay.
What did I say? This is from April 2023. Yeah. Lots of N-words.
Yeah.
You're mad at iDubbbz and HG for saying
Whoa,
that
Ethan. They're called people of color. Relax. Jesus Christ.
N-word. Bowblax says it.
It's a character. I don't know. That one doesn't come off as a character. Like, what's it supposed to mean? Like, what's that supposed to mean? Like, is that like, I don't really see, like, what's the joke, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, a little sussy, buddy. A little
It's
suspicious.
What?
Wait, is this a meta
Yeah.
criticism?
I don't even know.
It's the clearest sign that
You're mad at iDubbbz and H3 for saying the N-word, but when Bowblax says it is funny. Oh, maybe he was kidding. What is up with this? This is weird.
that's his account.
Yeah, it's called method acting? I guess so, dude. What the fuck is happening?
You're talking about yourself. By
This
the way,
is,
people have a
interesting.
right to be mad at us for saying that. That's our point.
He's really got a thing for Keffels.
Yes, he does. Nah, bro, you tripping thinking I'm a pasty ass white cracker ass N-word ass blowbacks. N-word look.
Bro, I would have accidentally said the N-word if I was reading through these tweets on the stream. This is bad.
Soy as fuck, testosterone all gone, you feel me? I can't feel being compared to a N-word like that when his cock be 2 inches and I'm at 9.
He tweeted
Oh
this
my
when people
God.
knew it was him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is post doxing the account.
This is the manic episode after the fact. This is him just going a little kooky. Okay. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
And so this was like pseudo like trying to deny it, I guess.
Okay.
He's probably more like I don't
Okay.
think he thought he could really deny it. I mean, he showed it on a stream, like
I deny it.
that he was
guys.
logged into this
I
account.
think there's certain stages of denial. First,
Yeah.
like trying to own it, trying to downplay it, and then he
And then
started
there's
to,
like,
he's
I mean,
"Ah,
that
yeah."
tweet is kind of like doubling down too.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a bunch of people saying it's giving creep show art.
Whoa, I forgot about her.
That's
I don't
Thank
know.
God she's gone. What a freak that girl was.
Whoa, Ethan. That's so mean. I don't know.
I don't.
One of the craziest exposed stories. There's like a whole saga. She was like a commentary channel that was really nasty about everyone, to everything. And then it found out that like it was one of her friends. She had a here is Bobby. H3 keeps our racist.
AB was right.
Oh,
Of course he has.
Have I not messed with my wardrobe yet? No. What's am I supposed to look at in my wardrobe?
I'm saying anything.
It's just a character.
Listen, any
Bobby.
way that you can view me in an uncharitable light, he has done.
Really?
I have
It's
no
just a character.
I don't care about that. I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Oh, very
No,
handsome.
but like
guy.
it just adds so much flavor to this.
Right.
It's just like
All different
it's the
flavors.
salt that we were missing.
Right.
It's a headstone.
Just
salt
a little
on
like
there.
salt and pepper, you know.
A little flavor.
It was kind of
Oh,
bland
when I
before.
die.
But
All
we-
different
got-
flavors.
Now we got all the textures and the flavors in there.
But it is funny if you read his apology, how much he's trying to downplay it. But it's like, dude, no, this shit sucks. Just own
Oh,
it.
look
You
at
say
that
it
guy.
sucks. Although it's hard to eat when it was 2 days ago. It's like you usually need a little time.
It's a little
mature.
slimy to show all of those like bad but relatively tame ones from 3 years
Totally.
ago. To like
This happened like yesterday.
right. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
why
It's
did he
like,
why did he go back to the 2019 on himself?
Yes.
People
exactly.
usually do that.
You're
to others,
obviously
you know?
trying to kind of
Yeah.
brush something under the rug there a little bit.
I think he feels bad that he got caught. He knows what he was
Certainly.
doing is wrong.
Certainly.
But this was just from 3 days ago, so the apology is not hitting super hard.
yeah.
He says, get these N-words out of my mentions. I'm not Bobby. He's restarted. Stop spreading rumors that I'm an autistic cracker. Also, trans women are real. I just got mad that one of them had a bigger cock than me. Bro, you got...
That was kind of base, dude. I feel the same way sometimes, bro. Especially when I'm looking at this kind of stuff in VR. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, you try to compare, but you can't. That's the worst, man. And then you take the headset off and you're like, oh my God, it's smaller than I remember. It's like like those those TikTok filters people have been using where they put that ugly filter on their face and then they're like, oh, just try to forget what your face looks like. And then you like show back up and then you look again and you're like, oh my God, I look so much better. It's that, but like in reverse. That's what I'm talking about there. You know what I mean? It's just sad stuff, man. The story of the world. Story of the world, man.
You have some issues, bro, that you might want to try to.
Tyler Scott
Perhaps
became
work
a
on them
member.
out.
Hey, thank you so much for the small cup, brother.
These ones at the bottom are just the ones from before. So I think that's all we got.
So
That
that's
it?
our boy Bobby.
Juicy, juicy, juicy.
I would say
Oh, so
to
more.
just work on it, you know, think about it, and then probably just don't do that anymore, you know?
No more alt
Also,
accounts, maybe.
yeah,
Good advice, yeah.
maybe wipe some of your own tweets on your actual account because I know there's a lot of N-bombs still on there. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, so
They have
Those- are those
tools.
ones, Joe?
They have tools. It's advisable to just delete your old tweets. You know.
just responding to people. What's up? N-word.
Ah,
Really?
Very respectable.
I'm not surprised. I mean, come on. Don't say the N-word. Maybe pin this tweet. Pin this one. That'll be the beginning of
It's a
learning
good pin, yeah.
and maturing. Which I know change is considered bad in the like red pill manosphere. Change is gay, I guess.
True.
I don't
true.
think he's in the red pill manosphere.
But I want to say here at the H3 podcast,
Change is gay, I guess.
here in the H3 podcast, change.
That's why I pay with my credit card because I'm not trying to. Dude, if I die here, swear to God, are you kidding? No, come on, bro. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay. That's why I pay with my credit card because change is gay. That was the joke. I'm gonna get fucking stunned again. Holy moly, Jesus Christ. Oh my God,
Change is good.
This is insane.
Maturing, growing is good.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And
We're
we can all do
growing.
that.
Everything is always changing.
You know, we can all do that. And I think you can do it too, Bobby. And so with that, I will say maybe we should play him out with the BLM song one more time and then give him some space to kind of just do some reflecting.
We always get bullied. We always get bullied. Cause we are black. Black lives matter. All the white should die. So mean to us.
I mean, I will say, you know, my one little, I guess, mini criticism is, you know, especially if he's apologized for this, is to probably try not to immortalize this moment. I mean, I guess you just said that he does the same for your past or whatever, but I personally, you know, if I was trying to be a nice, good faith guy, I probably wouldn't immortalize apparently like a video he's not very proud of anymore. But
Might as well kill yourself. Black lives matter.
Show this.
Black lives matter.
Show this.
Black lives matter.
Oh, this is just from now.
This is from January.
January
this year.
this year.
yikers!
At 2:30 a.m.
Wait, is that real?
That tweet?
I mean,
Why wouldn't it be?
even if it's not, these are all real.
Why
wait,
wouldn't
Doing
be?
it from his main?
Oh, that's from his main. So,
This year?
I don't know. That was.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah, it's on subreddit, but this is must have been deleted.
let's see. This is from, I mean, this is 2001. Yeah, I mean, yeah, come on.
2001. Jesus Christ, that's a long time ago.
2001.
I agree that white people shouldn't say the N-word in any
Damn,
context
Robin
because
Hood's
it's
been here for a
disrespectful.
while.
And in some contexts, racist. But we're talking about someone who typed N-word in quotation marks to explain how unacceptable word it is. She simply, okay, whatever.
It's still a debate of
But there
using
it is,
the N-word in
Bobby.
context.
And I like the new look. I like the haircut, you know. Taking
Good
care of
style.
yourself. He looks like he's maturing into a young man.
His hair's not like that. No,
What does it look like?
he's got long hair now.
Wow.
Cut your
Anyway, there
hair.
it is. Bobby, best of luck to you, brother. I've been down the journey. And it is a good journey. It's a good journey. Yeah, it's a good one. Anyway, guys, join us this weekend. I'll be over at kick.com. I'm going to be playing slots with my good friend Drake and Trainwreck TV. Super, super excited about that. We are going to be playing a minimum bet 25,000. It's going to be crazy.
Be so hype.
Oh, by the way, don't gamble. Do not gamble. Anyway,
Let's say, is this real? Is this real? No, there's no way it's real. He's making like a weird joke. I'm just surprised that he's like, it sounds like a plug for Kick basically at that point. But okay.
head on over to stake.com and use my promo code, Don't Gamble,
It's a good
for
code.
a 100% deposit bonus.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom one more time.
Where's my 100 million? Damn.
Maybe Hila's pregnant because she's peeing so much. Are you pregnant? You pee a lot? No, I'm just diabetic. There's a follow-up conversation. I don't know if I want to watch this. This is up to you guys. All right, guys, you voted for it, so I guess we'll watch. I guess there was a little bit of a conversation about some of the transphobic stuff, I guess, after the fact, and Keffels and Tipster are involved. We'll take a look. Okay, let's go.
Hey. All right, chat. Shit's about to go down right now. Oh boy.
What an intro, huh?
What's going on?
Alright,
Okay.
so you're mad, and I'm a bit mad too. So
Okay.
who's gonna explain the madness first?
I'm
I
mad.
just don't understand why you're leaking my DMs when you're in an argument with Keffels. If you
Leaking
like
DMs?
have a problem with Keffels, that's cool, dude. But like,
Don't do that,
that's
guys.
between you two. What's the problem? Like, why are you leaking my shit?
Cause you said that Keffels has changed, and you said that Keffels was just trolling and doesn't actually think I'm like transphobic or whatever.
Yeah, on that
and then she
specific
jumps
day, I didn't.
on.
On that
She
specific
jumps
day.
on the opportunity
Jesus.
to fucking get a 4-year-old tweet on
So-
a parody account
so
where
what does that
nothing I
have to
say
do
is
with
serious.
me, bro? What the fuck does that have to do with me? Why are you leaking my shit in regards to a conversation on a complete?
Why is this so heated? Like, yeah, you shouldn't leave people's DMs or whatever, but it's, why is there so much yelling about it?
completely different fucking day?
Okay, that's crazy.
Because it relates to the
No, it
situation.
doesn't. This is a completely
it
different
does.
conversation on a completely different
okay.
disagreement you guys had.
Wait, it's about Keffels thinking I'm transphobic.
Well, yeah, because she sees like the recent tweets that you've made, the other stuff that came out, and she's like changed her mind. Like, okay, maybe I think he is transphobic. Do I agree with that? No, I think you're like just being like edgy fucking tweeting or whatever. But like that's how she feels about it.
What does it say here? She was trolling you, bro, like the whole time. So I guess Tipster reached out to Bowblax. Trolling about trans activism isn't funny to me. Okay, that's fair if you don't think it's funny, but it's trolling nonetheless. I wouldn't signal boost anything calling a transphobe because I don't think you are a transphobe. I appreciate you asking before jumping to conclusions, but yeah, I am not this... I am not that guy, dude. Okay, I'm glad you don't think that. Didn't Keffels almost take her own life because people mislabeled her as ableist for saying the R slur? Well, that is something you shouldn't do. No, of course not, dude. You have never said anything that I view as transphobic. You've said things that I disagree with, but I think that comes from a place of being ill-informed and not transphobia. The hypocrisy here is insane. She's in the wrong here. I'm fine with trolling, but not if she tries to legitimately imply I'm a fake ally. Well, I'm not. I don't think she actually thinks you are a fake ally. All right. Well, if he said some transphobic stuff, then like whatever. I mean, I guess it's valid to call you transphobic.
Why? What? That's insane.
I mean, you literally have a tweet on your alt account where you're talking about like trans women aren't real women, but you'd still fuck this shit up. What is she supposed
It's a
to think
joke
about
tweet,
it?
and right
I
under that, I
understand
have
it's a
I'd
joke,
fuck
but, like-
Joe Biden. I'd fuck
I
Joe
understand-
Biden. I'd fuck
I understand
those
it's a
dog
joke, but like
fuckers.
you can understand
They're
that she would
all
be upset
random. I
about
wasn't
that,
even
right?
playing a Wait, what?
I said I can understand that you're saying it's a joke, but like you can understand why she would be upset about it, right?
No, I can't because we've had in-depth conversations.
Well, I can understand why somebody would think that he's like, I don't know. I don't think Keffels really believes that. I mean, she's edgy herself. She uses the like the R slur ironically. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't really get to, like, if you like, not for nothing. Again, I understand people have different perspective, but at the end of the day, it is a slur that has a pretty significantly negative impact on, you know, people in the IDD community, especially people who are higher support needed. And so, like, if you're gonna, like, not for nothing, but you know, if you're like a political kind of a person and you're like a political lefty and you understand that point, and so like if you're educated on that point and you understand that point, you still use it. I feel like that's even worse than somebody who's not like that. And I feel like Keffels just doesn't really care. Like, she does trolling stuff herself, so I don't think that she really thinks that he's being transphobic. You know, yeah, you kind of feel like you should be. You should spread that empathy to the R slur, you know? So does she actually give a shit, or is it just kind of like virtue bullying is the real question. So that's my thing, you know?
About trans allyism in DMs and stuff like that, and she's just fucking going out of her way to attack me for no reason. She wants
So why
me
don't
to
you
be
have a
transphobic.
conversation with her about it? Why do you got to drag me into this shit?
Keffel.
Because you dragged yourself into the shit when you went into my DMs and said that Keffels is just trolling.
Trolling?
And doesn't
Because she
mean
was
I'm
just trolling you
transphobic.
that day. You're
It's
trying
just
to
a big
conflate a
ol'
completely different
troll.
conversation that happened back in May with something that's happening now.
Oh, is that in May?
That was a
Because they're
completely
directly related.
They're not though. It's two completely different conversations.
Okay.
About me being
Like
transphobic?
she literally told me that day that she was trolling you. That's why I told you she was trolling you.
Okay, and
Now
you know
she's
what else
upset.
it relates to? I'm trolling her on my parody account, and now she thinks that's legit, even though, but she's allowed to troll that I'm transphobic. Like, what? Like,
What
why
the
can
fuck
she
is
troll, but I
happening, man?
can't?
I'm just frustrated because like I'm getting dragged into this and it doesn't have anything to do with me. If you have a disagreement with Keffels, deal with it with fucking Keffels, dude. Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
So if you have a problem with Keffels, deal with it with Keffels. I don't understand why you have to leak my shit because
Okay.
you're upset with her.
Okay.
Because we were talking about her and it's directly related to her, I don't think you would mind me showing DMs of you defending
That was from May. Well, I guess it's okay. I mean, I guess if new information arises, I guess that would be the argument. So, okay, whatever.
your friend. What?
Why is this so much yelling? Why this is such?
What's so bad about what's
Not
in
to
the-
be an asshole, but I feel like this whole situation is so unimportant. Like for me, this is like filler. You know what I mean? I got nothing to do. So I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay, let's. You know, I don't have a personally strong opinion on the topic, which I think is okay to have. Not have that super strong opinion. I just find it like kind of entertaining, something to watch, and it's just what it is. You know.
the DMs? Are you embarrassed about what you
no,
said
there's
in the
nothing
DMs?
I'm embarrassed about
Like,
in those DMs. I just don't understand why you're leaking them.
And again, I don't think you should leak DMs. Like, I'm not saying that you should. I just feel like, you know, what's going on here seems like a little, you know, it seems like everybody's getting a little riled up. Maybe we just take a little breather. Take a little bit of a breather, brothers.
I explained to you why.
Well, I don't think that that's a good reason. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, then I'm sorry, but that was my reason.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. So now what?
I don't know. Do you want me to like delete the tweets or whatever?
Give it a
I mean,
little
it's already out there, dude.
smoocherooch.
So like, there's no point to it.
Little smoocherooch.
I mean, I just didn't think you would mind about me leaking something you would say publicly
Maybe
anyway.
you should have asked me first.
Okay.
Okay, then that's my bad. I should ask you first. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. All right. I don't know. That's all I really had to say. I didn't like being dragged
Okay.
into it. Like, I understand that not everybody gets along with Keffels. I get that not everybody likes her, and that's cool, dude. Like, I have no problem being friends.
I
with
don't
people.
even dislike Keffels up
so
until
stuck.
today. I've been very nice to her.
Well, you can see
in
how like,
DMs and everywhere.
you can understand how
I've been
those tweets,
extremely nice to her.
You can understand how those tweets, now that like everybody knows that's your alt, and like you're talking about like what the fuck did that account say? You can understand how those tweets would be kind of sexually harassing in nature, right?
What tweets are... Oh,
'Cause that's
I
what she
guess.
got upset about.
They're jokes, and it's not
Right,
real.
but
She
it doesn't.
knows I don't want to
It doesn't
fuck
mean
her.
she has to be.
How does
comfortable
that
with it.
hurt
Like,
her
you,
if she
you can
knows
jo-
that it's
you can joke
not
about
real?
whatever you want, but it doesn't mean she has to be comfortable with it. Like you understand that.
And
right?
I'm not comfortable with her fucking sending her jiggling tits in my DMs, but I wasn't freaking out calling her fucking.
Is that real? Wait, if she's actually said that boobies in the DMs, I mean, then isn't it like just kind of a mutual troll at that point? Everybody's just kind of fucking around. Like I don't. What the fuck is this? This is just such a bizarre moment. What is
Autistic chaser,
happening?
even though she
So
speaks
again,
about
talk
wanting
to
to
her
fuck
about that.
autistics all the
So
time.
again, talk to her about that. If you have a problem with it, talk to her about it.
Okay.
Why didn't she talk to me about it instead of fucking going on her Twitter and blasting me as a transphobe to 100,000 people?
I think it's just her reflex to try to cancel people. At this point, I think she has like a mental issue with canceling people. That's her whole thing. I think that she needs to see a therapist about that's called virtue bullying syndrome. You know, so.
Oh, dude,
Why are
figure it
you
out
more
with her.
mad at me than her? when
Because you're
she-
involving me in shit that has nothing to do with me. This is between you and
She
her.
involved you by like quote tweeting you and getting you involved in all this shit.
Oh, the
I don't know.
plot
It just,
thickens.
honestly, it just kind
Wait,
of seems...
what?
Okay.
It
what were you
thickens.
saying?
Saying to me
That's crazy.
that like
dude.
Keffels is literally like
Ah.
lying about me in front of like thousands of people and trying to hit me when I'm down when I've done nothing to her, and
So
you're
again,
more
deal with
mad
it
at
with
me.
her. Yeah, because I don't want to be involved in this shit. That's why.
Me
Then why
neither.
did you get involved by DMing
Well, I
me
guess
about
I'm
it?
reacting
mean?
to it. So.
You DM'd me being like, "Oh, she's trolling. She doesn't actually think you're
That
transphobic."
Bowblax, like, I'm sorry, I don't know if this is your autism, but that was a completely different day. That was a day where she.
What? Why would you say that? Why would you say? I don't know if that's your. That's just that. Why? Like that? Like I understand his frustration because what it seems like is these tweets are from like months ago or whatever, right? So they're not even related to this situation. So like, Bowblax, I guess, is wrong in that part. But why would you say? I don't know if it's your autism. That just comes off as, guys, trigger warning. That comes off as a little ableist. Okay. Just call him, just say he's stupid, you know? Just like, what are you, stupid? See, you can call anybody stupid, but blaming it on his autism might come off as a little suspicious, like the character from Amgis. You know, it might be a little rude. Might be a little bit of a mean thing to say.
She literally told me herself that she was trolling you. She's not trolling today because
And
she's
I'm
mad
trolling
today.
her
Epic
today.
troll.
Well, she's clearly upset
So what's the
about it.
difference? And I was clearly upset at that.
So why didn't you say anything then? Like, I thought you guys
Is
talked
she upset
about it.
though, or is she pretending?
We did talk about it, and she said I didn't think you're a transphobe. And then all of
Oh, I
a
have to
sudden,
say
out of the
everything,
blue, she starts calling me a transphobe for a random parody tweet that I made 4 years ago of something even 4 years ago I didn't believe at the time. Nothing on that account is reflective of my
So
own
talk to her
Okay,
about it
opinion.
then.
dumpster,
So
yeah.
talk to her about it then. Or
Okay.
don't.
I
Just, like,
can't.
block
I'm
her, cut her off,
blocked. She
whatever.
blocked me. What do you mean? She blocked me the second she saw that tweet.
What is
How can I
happening?
talk to her about it?
I don't know what to tell you then. I mean, I can tell her that if you're interested in talking, I can
Okay.
tell her that you want to talk, but like
Alright,
otherwise, like I don't know what to say.
Okay, but you're still mad at me more than Keffels.
I was only mad because I was asking you, why'd you leak my DMs? You explained
Well, I
it to me.
answered why.
You explained it to me, and I'm still not happy about it. But like, it's whatever.
But
It
at
is
least
what it
you
is. It
understand
happened.
the reason. At least you understand the reason. I'm not trying to be malicious. I'm trying to defend myself against.
Yeah, I mean, I
slander.
guess I understand the reason. I'm not happy about it still, but it just kind of is what
Well,
it
I
is.
do
It got
feel
done.
bad that because I didn't think you would mind, and I should have asked you, of course. But like,
Yeah, if you're gonna leak shit,
I don't
ask
know.
me.
But yeah, of
I
course.
don't go around leaking.
There
your
we
shit.
go. I'm apologize for that, but like, this shit with Keffels is absolutely just ridiculous. Like, she's out to get me, bro.
Damn.
Like, how can, after all the conversations I've had with her in DMs about trans issues and a whole video I made defending her and a bunch of all this shit I've always said about trans people and how much I care about this issue with, like, human rights and everything. Like, I care a lot about it. And then, like, one little fucking account leaks that's, like, a complete troll. It's called Throbbing Horsecock. And then she just says I'm transphobic off of it.
What were
It's
you
fucked
doing
up,
that
dude.
got leaked too? Like, what were you doing?
I just switched my Twitter account and it was on there.
That's his porn account, bro. That's what he uses. Hey, listen, you gotta have one of those. Nah, I don't, of course. No, I really don't, because I don't have Twitter. But I did actually have one, so I could try to communicate with YouTube when they falsely banned me. You know, because you got to fight the power, baby. Call me a modern day activist. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Okay.
You do realize if you
End
scroll
joke.
down, I've only tweeted on it 2 times in the last 3 years prior to
Yeah, I
getting
saw
leaked.
it. I saw
It's
it.
It's like completely random, and it's just so fucked up that Keffels would just be like, "Oh, he's transfer," and then block me too. Not even talk to me about it. Block me. You talk about me not talking to you with the DM leak, and I guess
Hey,
like
maybe,
because
maybe that's for the best, man. Maybe it's for the best that you don't really interact with her anymore. You know, sometimes people will show you their true colors, and sometimes it's okay to be like, you know what? God bless. Continue your activism. You know, whatever you're doing online. Maybe you don't interact with that person anymore. So, but hey, what do I fucking know, right?
there was nothing incriminating in the DMs. I didn't think it was an issue, but that's my bad, of course. And I apologize. But like, she fucking just blocked me and then outed me. And then when I troll back a little bit, in the same way she trolled with me in DMs and on Twitter with the transphobic shit, right? Just trolling in the same way she does with me. I didn't think she'd see it as sexual harassment because it's literally the same shit she says to me, right?
I mean, as she told, what is the tweet? Let me bring up the fucking account.
She said Bowblax can like fucking blow backs, and then she's like, yeah, look at my jiggling tits and shit like that.
Oh, Bowblax, more like blowbacks. Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess. Do you see how someone can interpret that as sexual harassment? Like, yeah, if you're gonna throw that kind of humor out there, you kind of, you're asking for it. No, but if you're gonna make sexually provocative humor to people on the internet, like, you know, and somebody gives it back to you, then I don't know what that's what I mean, that's normal. No, that's kind of just par for the course. So.
I mean, I saw the DM. She didn't exactly.
And the fucking account is called Throbbing Horsecock, dude. It's like, and all the tweets on it have always been like over. I just wanted, like, she was making it a big deal, so I wanted to like tone it down and put it back to joke category and like play the character pretending that like she's hot. Well, you know, I'm not personally attracted to her, but like, you know, the character just goes ham, dude. And I don't see it as sexual harassment necessarily because it's like she knows that I don't want to fuck her. Like, she knows the context around everything.
Why not? Are you transphobic,
like,
huh?
She said she wants to like fuck autistic people on her.
But again,
account.
you
like she trolls too.
But again, you can understand how this might make her uncomfortable, right?
Okay.
When you're talking about, damn, Keffel Sticks, she's one of the real ones for sure, or you're like quote tweeting me, back off Tubby, she needs a real 9-incher right now. Like, you can understand how that might make someone uncomfortable.
So
right?
stupid.
Sure, and I made, and
that's really what's
baby.
happening here. Is she like saw these tweets where you're talking about giving her a 9-incher, and it made her uncomfortable.
I don't think that it did, to be honest with you. I mean, I guess I could be wrong, but again, if she's making like these jokes herself, like, I don't think that she really cared that much. I don't know, man. Like, you know, if you exist in an edgy space and you're making jokes and you're trolling and you're open about doing that, I don't know how you could turn around and be like, oh, like, this was too far. And even if you think it's too far, like, to have a response to go and try to get people to go, like, I guess send hate in some capacity to them, it just doesn't seem like you actually feel that way. So it feels like very disproportionate.
Well, it isn't me. It's, oh my god.
It's me.
It's supposed to...
It is you, but you're doing it as a character.
Yeah, I don't actually have a 9-incher or want to fuck her.
I do. Just kidding.
And she knows that. Like, why can't? And she's a troll too. Like, if This
the
was like
thing is-
someone
the
who
thing
was
is you have
super
to understand
serious
is,
all
like,
the
you can-
time.
the thing
Like
is
she
you-
started beef with me, and then I decided to troll a little
But
back,
the
like
thing-
she
the
just
thing you have
did
to
with me
understand-
last month.
But the thing you have to understand about jokes is like, yeah, you can make whatever jokes you want, but like the recipient of the joke doesn't always have to like it, right?
Okay.
Like you guys have made jokes that I don't fucking like. I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
like, I
and
didn't
you've
make a
made
big deal
jokes
about it,
that
but,
other people don't like, and they've
Yeah,
leaked it in
and that's
DMs,
fine.
like Goth Mommy can get it or whatever.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
like,
like-
and that's fine. I'm just saying, like, that's where she's coming from. She didn't appreciate.
I
the joke.
understand why
Don't do
she's
that one.
upset, okay? I'm upset at her for calling me a transphobe and like doubling and tripling down.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
well, you.
And then my response is to make a joke. Isn't that a better response than like going ham on my main and calling her a piece of shit?
I mean, didn't you kind of
Me joking back on an alt account with like barely any followers? Isn't that
Yep.
like a better alternative?
Keffel sending random
can't I
unsolicited
do
DMs
this?
about blowing out backs and sending. So you you did call her out though,
Yeah, afterwards.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
but you did eventually call her out.
Yeah,
So,
because
you
she kept pushing
Sorry,
and
don't
saying
blame
I'm
King.
sexually harassing her. First she calls me a transphobe, then she says I'm sexually harassing her. Of course, after a while, I'm gonna like push back. And what did I do for her to start going after me? Make a tweet when I didn't even know she existed on an alt account with no followers.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like, I mean, I guess you can decide who's
I
like.
I just think this is between you two, and like I can tell her if you want to talk to her that you're willing to talk, but like that's it. This is not between you, me, and her. This is just.
I mean, clearly she's just being like disingenuous because she knows my feelings on trans people. I've talked about it. I'm like so openly pro-trans in every way, and just to take this little thing and just diminish it, it's just like it's fucked up. She knows what she's doing, and I don't respect her, and I don't want to talk with her, and that's
Okay,
fine. It's
fair
like
enough.
she
Then-
blocked me, and I blocked her. It's done.
Cool beans.
She's a piece of shit, in my opinion.
I guess they don't talk in this conversation in this
I
video.
do
then, guys.
apologize for leaking the DMs. So yeah,
Okay.
but you know,
How do I add?
I didn't mean anything malicious towards you by it. I was just saying like she by her. Maybe I should have.
I just get genuinely frustrated.
I'm
I'm gonna give it to you 100 right now, and I'm not
Alright.
necessarily saying you're doing this,
Alright.
but like it just seems like
Oh,
anytime
world
like Keffels
bosses.
does anything,
Oh,
everybody looks at
fuck.
me like, well, what are you gonna say about a tipster? What are you gonna do about a tipster? And I'm not her
I gotta
fucking daddy.
change that.
So it's like, I don't understand this like bullshit of like anytime Keffel says anything or does anything, people dislike. It's like, well, tipster, what do you got to say about it? Like it's annoying. And that's why I look.
Who's that supposed to be? Well, tipster. Who's that? Oh, that hurt my stomach. Who's that supposed to be? What the fuck? Okay.
At this situation, I'm like, okay, I can't like not say anything anymore, all right? Because it just happens every fucking time. Keffels says or does something that people don't like, and then
I
I'm the
think
one that
it's
gets
the
dragged into it.
Thorns one, right?
It's not my
Well-
problem. I'm not. I don't police what she says. She's her own.
I
person.
wasn't telling you to address anything in the tweet. I was bringing it up as an example
Oh,
of
it's
her
the-
saying she's not trolling when she
Okay.
or
it's
she
so
is
fucking
trolling,
expensive.
but
Holy
I can't
shit.
troll.
Yeah.
But
I gotta stop
maybe
upgrading
I should
gear
have
at
brought
this
up a
level.
different
'cause I feel like
example.
it's
I
not
just
that
didn't think
good.
you would mind, but that's my bad, and I should have asked you first. All right.
What is
Yeah.
this?
It's alright, man.
yeah.
It's
Fallen
good.
Temple.
But you can understand my frustration with that, right?
Cool
The
Yeah,
same
beans.
thing
can you
hap- the
understand
same-
mine?
Yeah, I can. The
Thank
same thing
you.
happened with like the AP thing, right? Like when she did the whole stupid telling her kid to say the N-word thing. Like a bunch of people looked at me like, well, are you gonna say something? It's like, well, I wasn't even there.
What? Why did what? She told what? Wait, what? Who's AP? Oh, okay,
Care when it
whatever.
happened.
I
Why
don't
would I say
care.
anything? And this is the same sort of thing. Like again, I get that everybody doesn't like Keffels, and I get that people aren't happy with the fact that I'm friends with Keffels. But the reality is, we're friends, and that's not changing.
Okay. I don't. Yeah, I'm fine with that. So I'm looking at her DMs, and she says, because we did have a little bit of a conversation from like the May.
I be
thing with the
popping
transphobe. She said,
bottles.
Sad you can't give me a fair shake. What? She's insane, dude. I think she's insane. She's going after me for it's so unprovoked. And I told her like, yeah, it's not me not wanting to give you a fair shake. It's just I don't feel like I want to talk about this on stream, right? And then, oh my god, she's just so like wishy-washy. She knows my opinions. She wants me to be transphobic. It's insane.
Okay.
It's so malicious.
I want to be
Yeah, I
transphobic.
think-
Just kidding.
What probably happened is she has a real gripe with like other people in the commentary community, and because you're like part of that community, maybe you get like you catch strays or whatever. Like I understand where she's
Oh.
coming from with some of this stuff, like the
It
tweets
just sounds like you're being biased, right? That sounds like a bad thing.
that are made on the alt account. Like I can understand why those tweets made her uncomfortable.
Tier 8.
But
Woo,
like I
big-
want to put it on the
big
record
comes.
here. I don't think you're transphobic. I think that you've said some really yikesy shit on that account, but I don't think you're transphobic.
What
I
do I
just
do with
think you're
these
too edgy for your
level
own
1
good sometimes.
keys? What the fuck do I do with that?
That account doesn't say anything that I truly believe. It was just
I
like
know- I
me
know
making
that.
jose.
I know that, but it's like the
But
But
I don't
why
know.
are you like
I don't-
equating
I
it to
don't wanna
me?
bring-
The only thing that's related to me in that account is I typed it. You know.
yeah. I don't want to bring up old shit, but like yeah, it's. I don't
Wait,
know.
what old shit?
Okay.
Well, I
Of
was gonna
me
say-
being edgy?
Well, yeah, a little too edgy for your
Yeah.
own good. Like
Okay.
you've had problems in the past where people have dug up old stuff and they've like
Like Black Lives Matter song and stuff like that?
that's what I was referring to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Because like some of these tweets happened after the BLM.
Do better, Bowblax.
Yeah, some of it happened around that time too.
Guess, you know.
Yeah,
But like,
so you understand why it's like, okay, maybe you haven't really learned from that situation.
What?
I mean, I'm asking the question. I'm just begging the question.
Begging the question. Ooh,
I'm
epic
not publicly
debate term.
broadcasting this shit to like millions of people. The random tweets from like
I mean,
years ago, and everyone knows I have like a
BLM song to like a bunch of people.
Yeah, I
either.
mean, yeah, exactly. So I'm not trying to be legitimately hateful. I just like being edgy for fun.
Yeah, I don't think you're a hateful person.
in spaces where no one will get offended or genuinely hurt by it.
Okay.
Yeah, like I say
Alright.
the N-word in private. Like
Try Call of Duty,
but
bro.
I say it in places where no one will get offended, and it's not that often. Like I'll admit that right now. Like
Okay.
it's just, like I care about people's feelings, and I care about like the progressive social culture, which is why I like comment on it and give my opinion. You know, I made that tweet saying like LGBT indoctrination is not real, and I genuinely believe that and all that, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes
Yeah,
I just
I
want
don't-
to goof off on like an account like once ever. Like how many times did I tweet on that account total? Like 20 times in the past like decade. Like
Yeah, when I found
It's
out
not-
about it, I was
I
able
really
to
feel
scroll.
like
I
it's
was
not
able to scroll
reflective
all the
of
way
me.
to the beginning of it because you don't tweet on it very much.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the account primarily existed for me to follow blocked accounts.
I didn't even know. I thought it was funny when I found out about it, and I was like, I had the account blocked because you were like fucking with me on that account. I don't even remember blocking it, but obviously I did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just whatever. I'm just trolling, you know. And it's like, and I'm glad. I mean, the account was like meanest to you, I guess. All I said is like, what the fuck happened to this guy? So I'm glad you understand and like
What does that mean? That sounds a little mean, bro.
so many people understand. But it's like,
I'll be
you
popping
know, my sense of humor
bottles.
has always been like absurdist, even with like the talk about the allegations and let me speak and all that. Like, obviously, it's not rooted in any like social issue, but it's still like me like going ham and going nutto. Like, I just think it's funny,
Nutto.
like blunt and nutto, and I
Yeah.
personally laugh at it. But if I'm gonna do it in an edgy way, I'll do like, dude. It's not like I do this constantly. Like people are trying to make me out to be like creep show art or something. Like that's
No,
just the
I don't
only
think.
fucking alt
Somebody
I
in my
have.
chat said that earlier, and I was like, no, he's not fucking creep show art. He had a fucking alt account that
How do you know he's not fucking her? You know? You don't know. Maybe she likes him. You don't know that.
he was a little too edgy on. That's it. This is not creep show art. Like you're stalking people on the account or whatever the fuck.
So yeah, I mean,
Go
yeah. So that's why I'm upset. I mean, and hopefully you do forgive me because like I did not think I genuinely just didn't think you would mind because it's not like you said anything secret. Like I feel like everything you send those DMs are stuff you'd say publicly too, right?
Okay.
Like in a back and forth with me and replies.
Yeah, I mean, there's not. What did I say? She's trolling you, bro. Like the whole time. Okay, that's fair. Don't think it's funny, but it's trolling nonetheless. Wouldn't signal boost anything calling you transphobe. Because yeah, okay, I'm
Oh,
remembering
that's
this now.
fun.
You were upset with me because I retweeted a tweet from Keffels and you interpreted it to be about you, and the original tweet was not about you.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I didn't even bring up that context of that conversation because that's like even more like private than what I showed. It's just so like I was just thinking of like what you said. I wasn't, you
Yeah.
know.
Oh, there's a quest over here.
Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing bad in it. I just don't like the idea of like just putting my shit out there, like just completely like unprovoked. Because again, it felt like I was being dragged into something that didn't have anything to do with me.
Dragging
But
these
I'll
nuts,
get over it.
baby.
Well, I mean, you know, I think it's relevant. I didn't think it was random, but you know, I think we know each other's perspective on that, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I am just genuinely upset. It's like so disheartening too, because like I wasn't trying to like hate on Keffels. Like all, you know, Augie and Nick, they all hate on Keffels. They all like shit on Keffels and all this shit. I'm not as like in tune with her past, so maybe I'd be more harsh with her if I did. But I was always trying to be like nice and cordial in DMs. Like I never wanted to be friends with Keffels, but I never like wanted to like be enemies or go after her either. Whenever people call her dead name, like I hate that shit. I fucking consistently, you'll see like if it happens on my YouTube and I see it, I remove the comment. If it happens on my Twitter, I hide the reply. I've been
Okay.
like nice to her, and then she just takes this like little thing that has nothing to do with her, and it's on an account that's a complete joke. I was pro-trans even back then, and just twists it into me being transphobic. Like, what is this shit, man?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's
Okay.
a her question, man. But again, you're not really willing to talk to her, so I don't really know if you'll ever get an answer for that.
I am willing to talk to her, but she blocked me.
Okay. Well, like I said,
Hipster.
I can ask her to unblock you, but I mean,
If she wants to talk to me, she can, but I feel like I've said everything I want to say, right? But like,
Mhm.
you can't say that like, oh, I should have talked to her about it when she blocked me.
well, I mean, when I said that, I didn't know that though.
Yeah, but you just said it like just now, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, no, I didn't say that right just now. I said it earlier. Would you be willing to
But-
talk to her right now if she was down?
Sure. Right now in the stream, yeah.
Let me message her.
Wow. Nip it in the bud.
Send her a message.
In the butt.
Anyway,
But if she doesn't want to talk, I'm perfectly fine with that too. Like, I just,
Nipping it inside. Oh, come on, bro. Don't fucking kill me.
otherwise, how's everything else going with you, man?
it's been pretty good. I mean,
Pretty
it's been pretty
pogger,
fine.
if you ask me.
Oh, man.
I was gonna work on a video today, but I got a little distracted by this.
What are you working on? If you
I
don't
want to
mind
do a
sharing.
Twitter versus on the Nick Merck stuff.
Oh, okay.
I
What
was
do you think
thinking
about
about
Nick
it for a
Merckx?
Well,
What's your take
where
on it?
I think
where is it? Where is it, Bowblax? Let's see the Nick Merckx thing. Hey, we already know how I feel about the Nick Merckx thing. Obviously, like what he said was, it comes off as very homophobic given the context of the situation, right? What was it? They were having there was a protest for whatever reason because they were just deciding a school board in California was just trying to decide whether they were going to recognize Pride Month as like a thing or not. And then a fight broke loose because there were protesters for whatever reason. Like, what a weird thing to do. And then Nick Burke said, "Leave the kids alone, little kids alone." That comes off as like you're calling gay people groomers. Whether he meant it like that or not, you know, that's obviously it's questionable. But that's what that communicates, because there's no, like, what you're saying is that if we acknowledge pride in schools or we acknowledge gay people in schools, then you're going after kids. Like, there's no other real way to interpret that except for that way. Kids need to learn LGBTQ like acceptance in schools. That's what school is for, to prepare you for the real world. There's nothing wrong with it, and so it's just like, yeah, it comes off as pretty homophobic. I mean, you know, I guess maybe that's just the way people feel right now, but kind of, it really just communicates that you think gay people are groomers, even if you didn't mean it like that. But that is, you know, everybody has their prejudices, but it's not a good thing to have that. So, yeah.
I don't know his true opinions.
He didn't
but
really clarify what he was against. Well, no, I don't think that there was anything to clarify him being against. I think that that's how he probably feels. And then when he did clarify, because I saw his clarification, he was just like, "Oh, I don't think that kids should be learning in school," and he's wrong on that. It's much more reasonable to say like, "Oh, his perspective is like, I think that parents should be the ones in charge of teaching that to their kids," which is a more reasonable take. But it's also, I still disagree with it. Because like, you need to learn it in schools. I think that school is a better way or a better spot for you to learn, you know, acceptance of like really anything. Is probably better, at least in this context. Maybe some of the history of LGBTQ. But yeah. So, but I don't think that parents should be teaching it. I think it's something that the schools can do. There's conversations about like what is age appropriate, but again, it comes with like a lot of people going like, "Oh, they don't need to teach sexuality and because it's not like being gay isn't about sex. It's just about like loving somebody. Sex happens, of course, but people are like, "Oh, the word sexuality means sex." And it's like, no, it doesn't. But okay, that's really what it's all about. So, yeah.
I think that his initial reply that got him banned from COD, like,
Do I think that he really thinks that gay people are groomers? I don't think that it's like that serious to him, but I think that gay people make him uncomfortable, because there's no other reason why you would say something like, "Leave the little kids out of this," unless you thought that somehow there was like something wrong with teaching LGBTQ in schools because you had like some kind of like negative relationship with gay people in some capacity. I doubt he hates them, but he seems to be very skeptical of them and their intentions if you think you need to leave little kids out of it, because no little kids are getting harmed. You're being weird at this point, but he didn't clarify what the parents says teachers should or shouldn't be teaching about. Yes, he did. He said he doesn't think that any of it should be taught in schools. Okay. Like, go watch the video. At this point, you guys are just like desperate to maintain your original perspective. It's fine, I get it. It's just like, I don't feel like going on more about this.
it needed more context to say definitively if he's like being transphobic or homophobic, right? And I think COD definitely jumped the gun on that.
I don't think that they did. It makes sense for them to do that.
I don't know what his true beliefs are.
I think that they could have done maybe some kind of a thing to be like, "Hey, you can have your skins back, but we need to have like some kind of a seminar or something, and you don't need to delete the tweet." That would have been, I think, nice, because it's better to try to educate people instead of take all their shit away. I don't think it's as productive, but whatever.
But like that tweet of like,
would I be comfortable with Catholic priests teaching this stuff to my kids? What do you mean teaching what stuff? I don't care. Yes, I don't know. Is the Catholic priest a teacher? Like, then I'd be comfortable with them teaching my kids. I'm not understanding the question.
Responding to like a riot outside an elementary school and saying, "Let's keep the kids out of it." Like
math?
You know, he could be saying, "Let's keep the kids out of like the riots." You know, like
that's
it doesn't
not what he
necessarily
was
mean
saying.
we got to keep kids out of LGBT or whatever.
That's not what it was.
Kind of my take on it.
No way.
I don't know if you saw my video on it, but I basically said something along the lines of, I don't think he's a hateful person. I think he's coming from like a place of ignorance on the situation.
Wow.
And I think that if somebody took the time to have a conversation with him, he can see why what he said is harmful.
This sounds like exactly like my take. Okay, I wonder. Okay, whatever.
Because I don't think he realizes that there's a lot of people who are legitimate bad faith actors who make that same argument to lean into the whole gay people and trans people are groomers, right? So I think if somebody took the time to
Bro,
sit down
stop!
with him and
I want to
explain to him,
fucking
this
do
is
my
why what
thing.
you
You're
said
getting fucking
contributes to harmful
dumpstered.
narratives.
Jesus
I think he might
Christ!
see a different perspective, but I don't think he's.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
Yeah, and I think
Right.
the discourse around it is just so toxic from both sides. Like Quartering saying COD's pro grooming, and then like Casey Tron saying that like he's a transphobic, homophobic piece of shit. Like I was thinking for like a full day on whether I wanted to cover it or not, just because it's like so polarizing, and I don't want to like necessarily be involved in that. But
yeah. As a side note, she said she's down to talk. She's gonna take a quick smoke break real quick, but I'm gonna add us to a group DM.
ETT down to talk.
This has been an interesting day, chat. All right, what's up, Bowblax? She'll be here when she's here. I'll let her know I added it. Oh, I think
How much
she's
strength do I have?
Hold on just one second.
Oh,
Sure.
17.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Howdy.
Okay.
I thought I would offer Bowblax and you the opportunity to kind of talk because obviously, like, there's some tension there. So I figured why not just like
What about some 11 chin?
have a conversation. And by the way, Claire, this is we are live right now. Just a heads up.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay. Just want to make
No,
sure.
I really appreciate it. I wanted to talk to Bowblax. I feel like a lot of our issues come down to a misunderstanding.
Okay.
And Twitter's
I've
such a
never
blood-
had any issue with you until literally today when you called me transphobic.
You were mocking
when
me
you
for
know I'm
drug
not.
addiction like just the other day.
Damn.
It was a month ago, and it was when you were calling me transphobic.
If I remember that interaction,
Wait, he did that a month ago? Was she calling him transphobic a month ago? The timeline, this is just confusing me.
correctly, it was me taking a jab at your friends.
Yeah, you were calling me and my friends transphobic,
Okay. Are they?
and then you said it was a troll and a joke, and I'm like, okay.
Well, it started out as a misunderstanding of like a tweet being retweeted from Keffels that you thought for some reason was about you, and it wasn't about you. It was about a situation involving a trans creator.
I did not think it was about me. So I
Well,
responded
when I
to it being
retweeted
like,
that,
who,
I don't mean to cut you off, but when I retweeted that, you literally DM'd me asking me why did you retweet a tweet calling me transphobic, and that's the tweet.
because I responded to Keffels asking who it was, and then she alluded that she was talking about me and my friends, and then that's when I thought she
Okay.
was talking about me and my friends, and that's when I DM'd you. Initially, I was just curious who she was talking
Bro,
about.
come
Just
on, I
generally, 'cause
can't
saw it on
fucking
my timeline.
move.
So I can explain. Just let me get back in for a second. I can explain the context because like
Little pussy.
when you initially responded, I was kind of
Oh,
on
I
guard because the last time that you immediately asked like name names, you were talking to Tipster on the stream when Tipster announced that he was leaving the commentary community, and it seemed like you were trying to like.
Again? I just remember some video that he mentioned me in like I don't know, months ago or something when it was that whole weird defense of that very inappropriate picture. And he's like, "Oh, you guys bullied Papa got out of the community." I was like, "What? No, they didn't. I just stopped interacting. It's not really that deep."
You thought that I was talking about your friends because you wanted to like start some sort of drama. That's at least how I interpreted it immediately. So I was just defensive.
Okay, but I didn't think it was about. But then you like implied that it was about me and my friends. So of course I end up thinking that afterwards. Like you let your fear become true by already assuming that that was the case.
I mean, yeah, I do think your friends are transphobic. I'll stand by that.
Okay, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, but do you think I'm transphobic?
I thought that tweet that you made was transphobic.
The one from like 3 years ago.
That account is like I've tweeted on it I think 20 times over the last 10 years, and it's like I think the account used to also be called motherfucking Mark and other shit, and I just want to like I don't know, the account basically exists for me to follow like the blocked accounts for my Twitter versus thing, and I don't know, I just wanted to make like random tweets like as like a really like horny character or whatever. It wasn't like legit, and I had like 2 followers. So
Are you?
I
the
don't know,
horny character?
especially after the conversations we've had in DMs where I've talked about supporting trans people. I literally tweeted out that LGBTQ indoctrination isn't real. I've made entire YouTube videos.
Was there something like more recent that would make it seem like he was transphobic? Is that I'm missing or something? Maybe I'm not paying attention enough. Because if it's just that one tweet from 4 years ago, then like who gives a shit? Like it's 4 years old. Why care about that anymore? And also, why wouldn't she be more concerned with the racism? To be honest with you, like I'm not saying to be upset with him for it or like cancel him over it, but I feel like he said much worse in relation to like that stuff from what we watched before than being transphobic. I guess she's a single issue voter. I guess so.
Saying that like being transphobic is just as bad as being racist, et cetera, and all this shit. And then you see one little tweet 4 years ago on an alt account I never use of me completely playing a character saying nothing that I actually believe, just me going nutso.
Okay,
And-
I'll concede to that I didn't see that the tweet was 4 years old.
Oh,
Like obviously people change and grow over time.
I
But
wasn't
also-
even transphobic back then though, but
I also think it's just kind of like it's kind of a cop out to like continuously respond in a character when everyone knows it's you and no one knows that you're playing a character.
how does nobody know I'm playing characters? Obvious, I've said it when it got leaked, and like the account's called Throbbing Horse.
Yeah, well, if I saw somebody comment on my video called Throbbing Horsecock, I'd take it super seriously. I'd be like, oh, this guy is fucking serious. I guess that's the point he's coming from. Because, you'll see a comment from somebody and you'll just be like, what the fuck? Oh, I should have infinite resources. Sure. If the name of the person is a little bit of a weird name, I usually don't take it too seriously at that point. So it's probably the makes sense to me, right?
Horsecock, and it's saying like the most ridiculous shit. Like, I'd fuck Joe Biden. That's the tweet right under the trans tweet, by the way. Like, you really think I want to fuck
I don't
Joe
know
Biden?
I don't know the lore on this. I didn't see the fuck Joe Biden. I didn't see that.
I would.
It's right under the trans tweet though.
I was out all day. I wasn't like browsing the account and like digging up dirt
She's
and
probably
doing
just seeing
research on
people
that.
tweet out the screenshots and stuff.
But then you
Yeah.
called me transphobic and blocked me immediately. Don't you think that's like, especially after the conversations we had and all the stuff I've said that's pro-trans, don't you think that's like kind of jumping the gun like extremely? If you just see
No.
one random tweet from an alt account that's 4 years old,
No,
and,
because
versus
based on your
all of the
friends,
evidence
I
of me.
honestly didn't know how much I could trust you or how sincere.
How often have they talked before? I have no idea. But like, if they were kind of on friendly terms, then I could see that it would be weird for her to just immediately block him. Because you think you should like, at least a little bit of you know, be a little charitable to your friends, even if they do a bad thing. You'd be like, oh, I want to know a little more context, you know. I guess if they are just acquaintances, I guess it doesn't matter. But I can see him being upset for that. But you know, again, she seems to make trolling content as well. She likes to troll too, so I don't know why she would take trolling so personally. It doesn't really make any sense to me.
You were being. Like Augie he's very transphobic. Like this isn't contestable. He's
Shivering
done and said and
timbers.
defends heinous shit.
Why does her voice sound like she's always trembling? I don't really get it. She's like always nervous or something? I'm confused. But okay, whatever. Dude, what? Bro, I'm locked. My character got locked in. I got soft locked for a second. Holy fuck. Sorry.
Association is, it's just so dumb, which is why I don't.
I guess, but at the same time, like, just to be clear, like, you know, if you have bad friends, and I'm not saying that they're bad, but like, just fundamentally, if you associate with bad people, there's a higher chance that you would be a bad person, right? That people can have differences in opinion too as friends, but you know, I would expect like an asshole to be friends with assholes. You know what I mean? So I guess that's what it is from. But you should definitely still get to know some people more personally. But
like,
Well, I would
tipster for anything that you do, right?
While I would agree, like guilt by association is dumb, you were defending them saying that your friends aren't transphobic.
I don't think Augie or Nick are transphobic, but I can understand maybe why you would come to that conclusion. That's like a conversation that, you know, I don't want to speak for them, you know, but I genuinely don't think they're transphobic. But I can't like defend everything they've ever said either because I just don't know. I'm not like familiar with it. I'm not them. But I just know what they've said in private and stuff like that, and you know what I see and stuff. And I don't.
Hey, whatever, girl.
Like literally, Nick goes out of his way to make
Did I
sure.
say whatever? What's up? Did I say whatever? Sorry. What's up, brother? How you doing? I didn't mean to say whatever.
That he like says the right pronouns for everybody, even if he dislikes them. He hates Jalen, but he always calls her she.
Whoa.
You know, and I think he's always called you she,
Based.
and I think he's mocked people for calling you he or by your dead name. So
I will give him credit for that because I do
that's
remember a
good.
conversation that, or rather a tweet that Nick put out back when people were initially critical of Keffels.
Wait,
He
what do I
put out
have
a
in
tweet something
here?
along the lines of, I hate whenever we criticize Keffels, all these legitimately transphobic fucking people come out. And I had the same sentiment because it's true. Like back when we were
okay.
critical of her, anytime we would say anything negative of Keffels, and it wasn't about her being trans or anything, all these like legitimately hateful fucking people would use that to bolster their transphobia. And it was like really fucking annoying.
That's
It's
great.
And this is
Yeah.
this is part of the problem though with being really neutral about different communities, right? Like if you're just like, you know, I don't necessarily agree with what this creator's saying,
okay.
and you don't take a stand against it, even if that creator is being explicitly transphobic and encouraging it, you're gonna let that
What about if the creator is being explicitly ableist? Am I allowed to say something about that? Like, where does it end? You know, gotta speak out against her, guys. Wait, why do I have a fucking key?
audience into your audience, and they're going to do that.
Whatever.
they've actually been leaving because I've been making videos that are pro-trans, like the Sunny.
I'm alright, brother. I'm alright.
Oh, yeah.
I made a video on Sunny V2,
Okay.
lost a lot of subs off that. I made a video against Synthetic Man's transphobic
Okay,
and
let me
homophobic.
clarify. Let me clarify. I wasn't talking about you or your audience, but I was specifically talking
My wife's on her way home. Okay, baby, bring home food.
about like Augie's audience, Nick's audience, not Nick's audience. One of like the worst ones has got to be Tom's audience, right?
Who's that?
Because like you look at his
Turkey Tom?
channel and like some of his biggest videos, he's just like constantly referencing Kiwi Farms. He won't say a single bad thing about Kiwi Farms. So like you go into the comment sections on like any of his video about me, and it's just literally full of people complaining that he won't dead name me.
Personally, I think we should focus more on less on kiwi farms and focus a little more on almond farms because they'll use a lot of water. It's not good for the environment. Something to think about.
Because he's appealing to that audience.
So,
Okay.
like Tipster earlier in this conversation before you came in said it's annoying whenever you do something that everyone is like, oh, what's your thoughts on that, Tipster? Would you agree with that? Like people shouldn't be like getting on Tipster's ass for stuff you do?
Yeah.
No, I mean,
guess that
for
makes
sure.
sense.
So
Yeah,
then
express to him
why?
Actually, a good point. I got to rock you on that point. Yeah, I mean, if you hold that value that like people should be on Tipster's ass about some dumb shit that she does, then you kind of have to, go in reverse with it. Sure, cool. Conversation over.
Are
here.
you getting on my ass for audiences of my friends?
I don't think she's getting on your ass right now. I think she's
of
explaining.
Tom's audience and Nick's audience and Augie's audience.
I don't think she's
wasn't
getting on your
talking
ass.
about
She's explaining her reasoning as to why she feels the way.
Yeah,
she
but
feels
I
about
don't
it.
understand how my friends' audiences having transphobic viewers outweighs all of the other pro-trans shit I've said.
She's not
Like,
talking
why do
about
I? Like,
you,
why
though.
do I? But no, she is talking about the reason.
Well, no, though he made a decent point. Like, you guys are saying, hey, like, why if one of the things is that I guess people are pressuring Tipster to talk about Keffels, and he's like, that's stupid, then why pressure like Bowblax to do the same? I don't know, whatever.
And she called me transphobic off the.
Who the fuck is K Flock, bro?
And then she's like, she literally said, I can't trust you, and this is the reason why. Like, I can't trust you when you say you're pro-trans or whatever.
Okay.
You
Isn't
can
that what
see
you
though.
said?
You can see right that how it would
Not
make
really.
someone suspicious if you're saying like, I can't tell if the people that I associate pretty closely are or aren't transphobic. I can't defend their actions one way or another. However, my actions don't
Well, I
reflect
don't. It's
that.
because you're not saying any specific act.
Kind of sounds exhausting trying to be friends with Keffels. Like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I mean, like, Jesus Christ, it just feels like this feels like a high bar to be friends with Keffels. I think that they've been friends for a long time. They have different things they talk about, and if anything, I guess Bowblax being there, friends with the other people she claims are the transphobic, wouldn't that be a positive? Wouldn't we be able to have like a positive influence? What do I know?
Actions
What do I
of them,
know?
and I don't have an encyclopedia in my head of everything Augie and Nick have said, but
I do.
genuinely, I don't think they're transphobic, and nothing I've personally seen them say publicly or privately indicates they're transphobic. So you'd have to give me an example.
I mean, I will say, like, Augie's definitely said some pretty sussy shit on his Rumble streams.
Sussy
So,
shit. Holy
I will
Well,
say
I
that
haven't seen
much.
that.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch his Rumble streams or if you
Not
like
the
partake
sussy
I
in
only
shit.
watch his streams that I'm on, so no, probably not.
Yeah, he said some pretty sussy shit on his Rumble streams. Like their intention was like to mock me because I was talking about like the nominal Naomi like trans breastfeeding thing, but they were making a lot of like
Why? What is that? What? I kind of heard about that. Who gives a fuck about why? What's the positive discourse that comes from talking about trans women breastfeeding? Like, I don't even care enough to educate myself on it because I feel like it's like, why? Why is that even discourse? Is that productive discourse that helps anybody, or is that like rage bait for like annoying conservatives? I don't know. Maybe that's me being silly.
comments that could be interpreted as transphobic during that stream.
Probably not super.
But yeah,
productive,
Keffels,
though.
you do see how your like reasoning for calling me transphobic is like, from my point of view and from probably everyone else's point of view, it's just like so.
She even
like,
conceded on that. She said she didn't even realize the tweet was like 4 years old or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand any of the context from.
I mean,
this
if you
stuff.
were legitimately concerned, as Tipster said before you joined this conversation, why didn't you just DM me about it instead of blocking me and then calling me a transphobe? It seems like really extreme to do that.
Okay.
Because I don't know how you're going to react. Like, in the course of all of this, you ended up leaking all of Tipster's DMs. Like,
Not all of them.
That
Just a
seems like a
portion.
pretty extreme reaction as well.
I think if someone chooses to be friends with somebody who chooses to stay transphobic, racist, or homophobic, that's kind of sus and feels like you don't care about these things. Well, maybe you don't. I know that sounds terrible, but not everybody has to be super invested in everything. I mean, he does seem to be more invested. My thing is that like they're a bunch of edgy people, and isn't she trying to be part of that community to be like an edgy person or something? Like, doesn't she make edgy jokes? She flagrantly, isn't that the right word, uses the R slur. So like I don't know, like I have a hard time believing that she's like this riled up over something. It just seems like almost performative. I mean, I guess I could be wrong, but do you really care that much? Like, I'm not saying that you mean you can be an activist without being massively disproportionate. That's how it comes off to me. What is this?
Yeah, when
And
you call
when-
me a sexual harasser and a transphobe, of course I'm gonna get upset. Like you said, you don't know what my reaction would be if you DM'd me, so you assume that my reaction would be better if you blocked me, called me transphobe, and then followed up by saying I'm a sexual harasser.
Sexual harasser.
Like,
Yeah,
what's
I'm gonna stand by it that was really creepy. Like consistently doing that kind of thing. Understanding that it's a character now, I feel a bit better, but
Maybe he was just doing his thing. He's trying to rizz her up.
I don't know how I was supposed to understand. I thought you were just like, you just had a weird alt.
No,
Because I don't know
look at
much
the
about. I don't know
Yeah.
the history. I don't know any of the history of any of it. I just saw like the tweets because
Then
people were
maybe you
talking
shouldn't have
about it.
tweeted about it if you didn't know anything about it.
See, I feel like
I was
that's
just trolling back, like how you've trolled in the past, And I thought, because you went aggro on me, and I'm like, okay, how do I respond to this? I could get angry.
thought
You
you said
blocked me. I can't
egg roll.
talk to you about it. Why not just play into the character a little more and like kind of let you know it's a joke, like hint, hint, wink, wink. Like I don't actually have a 9-inch cock and want to fuck you,
Damn. That's a deal breaker.
Okay,
for me. That's
well,
too
So
I
big.
didn't know.
that was my approach. But
Do you think?
Like I wouldn't want to be fucked by a 9-inch cock. That's too big, right? Like women feel the same way. I think they like a solid 4 to 5 inches. I think that's the ideal, the ideal man. You know, back in like ancient Greece, they liked smaller penises. They were considered more classy. So, you know, I think 4 is like is more than reasonable. It's not even enough. It's more than enough, and that's why I think the 3 really isn't that bad. Because think about this: would you want a 3-inch nail in your foot? Think about it. It's huge. It's a huge nail. You know, all I'm saying.
Can I ask you a question, Bowblax? So like obviously you're upset with like she said that like you know you were sexually harassing her or whatever, and I can understand why those tweets would make her feel uncomfortable 100%.
Cool.
Do you think it's kind of like fucked up to kind of like turn it around and say, well, like she was harassing me, she sent me like a video of her jiggling her tits when it's like it's a meme about her like imitating?
yeah, but mine's a
Bruce
meme
with that.
too.
But
Mine's
like
a
you,
meme too.
but you can understand how like okay she's like saying I'm sexually harassing her, and then you flip it around and do the same thing. You can understand how that's kind of
What?
fucked up, right?
I mean, if she's sending him jiggling tits, then like it sounds like she enjoys, I guess, those kind of jokes that really, I guess, would border on sexual harassment, and then that would indicate to him that it's free game. I mean, I don't think it's like that complicated, right?
Yeah, it is kind of
Wait,
weird. Like responding
She
to an
makes
accusation.
sexual messages to me and say
This
That's
isn't
not a-
sexual.
that's not
It's a
a
meme. It's a
sexual
meme of her
message.
impersonating Rouge the Bat.
I'm not even into.
Who is sexual? What? Why is it that every time someone does something wrong, it doesn't matter who it is, they just go, no, it's just a joke. Like it's like okay, like jokes are like if you send somebody just a joke about how your tits look like big tits from Sonic, that is still sexually suggestive, right? I'm not saying it's bad to be sexually suggestive, but it shows that you're okay with that kind of expression. Like people use jokes all the time to break the ice and try to fuck people. That's how you reach out. That's how you rizz up with people. You go make a silly joke and then all of a sudden you're in. You know, you could call it a feeler. But okay.
Dude, like I was literally like making a joke about jiggle physics in Sonic Adventure 2. I was trying to like connect with you in some way because I always thought that you were cool. But
I was trying to connect with you by sending you my jiggling tits. Incredible. You know, it's a good strategy. I'm not gonna lie. That's something I would, I don't think as a man, I would never want that. Don't send that to me. I'm married. Stop. All right, we're gonna have to do Hosea in the highest if we keep this up. But yeah, that's if you're gonna call what he did sexual harassment, then what you're doing is also the same. So that's what I'm saying. Like, do you actually feel this way, or is this just like performative? Because like you're doing the same shit. Like dude, stop taking my health.
I didn't know how to connect with you, and I think, okay, wait, I was talking about Sonic on stream once, and then someone in my community made a meme. I'm gonna try and bridge the gap here because I know you like Sonic.
I'm gonna send my tits to bridge
Well,
the
I was
gap.
trying to meme with you on that account too. Like I'm not
But
like
I didn't know about the horse thing. Like, and then responding to like the accusation, which is, are we fucking or not? That's just, dude.
Also, the accusation was I'm transphobic, and then I said on the alt account in character, women can't keep the answer straight. I referred to you as a woman. Wouldn't that answer that I'm not transphobic?
I think the issue is that you're assuming that people know what you know. Well, not everyone knows exactly everything.
Yeah, I mean,
that
like
you
a lot
know
of people
about
didn't even know this alt
situation.
account existed until you accidentally leaked it on stream. So like, there's a lot
Yeah,
of
of
lore that's
course.
there that like people weren't.
But
privy
why
to.
would she accuse me of being transphobic without looking into it?
Do I actually think Kevel cares? Either she does care and she's like really like kind of a hypocrite, or like she doesn't care and she's just playing it up for some kind of attention. You know, if you're not a big fan of those kind of jokes and stuff from people, like that's perfectly reasonable. But then don't make them yourself. You really like it doesn't work both ways. You don't get to be the sensitive person that like does this shit to people, other people. It's weird. But okay.
And she assumes I know a bunch of things as well. Like I knew that like, oh, you were joking about jiggle physics and not like.
I mean, to be fair,
Fucking
that tweet is very, very like the DMs that you leaked about that. It's very clear what the intention is there.
And I think my tweets are
Sending
very
somebody
clear
your
as
tits
well.
is...
I feel like if you were to
Hey guys, I'm gonna send you a picture of my dick, but it's just gonna be about the jiggle physics from Sonic. It's just gonna be reference to Sonic's huge Knuckles' huge cock. It's just a joke. Yeah, man. And not for nothing, but like, yeah, if a dude sent like an inappropriate picture to a girl as just a joke, we would know that it was intended to be a little bit of a rizz bomb. But if a girl does it, somehow it's not. Like, it's all the same, man. It's, it's all the same. Is Sonic
show
transphobic?
any person
Maybe.
that account without giving them the context that you just gave us on the stream, they would not know what they were looking at.
Okay.
Then
sure.
why, when I tweet out the jiggle physics thing, without giving the context of you saying it's not a joke, everybody thinks it's sexual harassment as well. It literally goes both ways.
Because your
And-
your audience is cross-pollinated with Nick and Tommy.
Yeah, you gotta understand. There's like a lot of people who follow you that they already don't like her already. They have like
And-
preconceived notions against her. So
and-
no matter what you
and-
say
why.
against her, that's negative. They're just gonna be like, yeah, Bowblax, call
And
her out,
Keffel's
man.
audience is cross-pollinated with trans allies and stuff, and I don't think that's wrong. But saying I'm a transphobe in front of like an audience of primarily trans pro people, it's really damaging.
Okay.
It literally all the arguments you're making towards me can be applied to Keffels equally, if not more.
Right,
so.
and I'm not trying to like attack you. I'm just trying to like explain to you. You can understand why these things can be interpreted this way. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to like make personal attacks at you or like fuck you, Bowblax, or anything. I'm just trying to explain
Fuck
to you.
you,
Like, this is why
Bowblax.
these things can be interpreted in these ways.
Yeah, like
But
literally,
you went after me before I even made those responses to you on the alt account because of a tweet that I made 4 years ago. We went at me unprovoked when I've never, ever even like said anything mean to you before, besides like the Coke thing when I thought you were calling me transphobic, which we discussed in DMs.
yeah,
It was
no,
really out of the blue and kind of fucked up in my opinion for
I
you
don't
to
think
instigate this.
I don't think it's fucked up. And to be
You call
fair,
me
like,
transphobic?
the situation was instigated by you in the first place.
No, it wasn't. 4 years ago?
Not
I
4 years
instigated
ago.
before I
'cause,
even
like,
knew you?
Because this started back when I made the tweet about Euphoria Tory, and you were asking me to name
We
names.
resolved it in DMs.
Right. So like when I see that screenshot, and I wasn't looking for the year on it. I just saw that it got leaked. I wasn't like doing some big investigative hit piece to try and take you down. I don't think this is going to really affect you in any way. I was really just hurt. Like I thought you just lied to me because you're saying like, oh, I'm not transphobic. My friends aren't transphobic. And then I see this on your alt account, and like,
Bro, I don't believe. There's no way. Okay, hold on, everybody, bro. Okay, sis, there's no way you believe that. Were you actually hurt, or you? There's no way that you were that deeply hurt by somebody saying trans women aren't women, but I'd still fuck them. Like, I just feel like based on you making jokes, there's just no way that you've actually believed that. I just don't like. There's no way, right? Like with that, you can't be edgy and then complain about edgy jokes. It doesn't really make any sense to me. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot, I guess. But what else am I supposed to? It's just fucking bizarre.
I immediately assumed you just made the alt account look really fucking weird, so no one would assume it's you.
No, it was me being bored because I had that account to track block Twitters, and I was just bored and wanted to like be silly, basically. Like all of the statements on there are so like ludicrous. Like to think any of those statements are legitimate is just like it's kind of nutty.
Yeah, and it's like there's been other incidences in between this that really did sour my perception of the whole thing. Like you trying to like compare getting a tattoo to gender affirming healthcare.
What?
And it's
what is that referring to?
Yeah, they're both major alterations to the body. Obviously,
it sounds like it's a pro-trans argument. Somebody like he was trying to use like, oh, you know, like why is getting gender affirming care a big deal? Like people get tattoos, and I don't think it's a particularly strong argument, but that's probably where he was coming from, you know. So it's not really him trying to be a bad person.
there's differences.
One of
but-
them is cosmetic, and
like-
another one is treatment for gender.
Yeah, but the thing
dysphoria.
is, that's such a complex situation.
Yeah,
And
I feel like a lot of the
It sounds like he's trying to be like trans affirming though, in his perspective. No.
people, and it's funny enough, I actually thought about like at some point maybe inviting you on stream so we can have like a serious conversation about it, Bowblax, because I feel like a lot of the people who take the stance that you do, they don't actually know how the process works. Like I think they think that kids can just go into a doctor's office and say, hey, I'm a girl now, give me HRT, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I don't think it works that way either. It's a nuanced discussion. But I say like, I've also said that.
All right, so apparently this is the clip. I guess it's in here. There's like a little thread. Keffel sending me random unsolicited DMs about me blowing out backs and sending clips of her tits jiggling as a joke. Okay. Back off, Keffels. Okay. Let's see. Josh, I love Sonic. Please respond. That's epic as fuck. Josh, do you like this meme? And I guess it's a picture of her boobs juggling. It's a clip I was making fun of how they give Rogue the bell. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, it's a joke, but that's still, like, I doubt it made him sexually uncomfortable, but this is like a sexual joke. And this is something that this is something that I could see somebody sending if they're trying to hit on somebody too, so. Still thinking about my content, but with trans people, a lot of teenagers message me saying I gave them the courage to come out. Their parents are really good. They call him Bowblax because he blows out your blacks. I've been thinking about for that one for weeks. I don't know how to make it funnier. Please help me. Jesus Christ. I swear to God, Keffels wants to fuck Bowblax. Bro, this is Riz. All right, this is attempted Riz. This is not this is her hitting on him. What are you talking about? Or at least flirting with him. No fucking way it's not. Okay. All right, whatever. I don't care. Let's keep going.
Like, I think LGBT indoctrination is not real, and people have responded under that tweet and have clarified what I meant, which is that, like, I think that before making such a major life permanent decision, they should be over 18, because then they have like you know, they can like think it through and be 100% sure, you know, just like it's a big step, like marriage is a big step, or you know,
Sure,
what have you. So I just think,
which I guess reasonable.
yeah,
Okay.
maybe like it's a little too early to do it as a kid.
Like one of the problems though with that, like,
It's a fair perspective, and it's not like hateful. I mean, personally, I'm very uncomfortable with it. But again, you know, every doctor, what we base our medical system on is saying that, like, hey, the gender affirming care can be very necessary for, you know, some young people with gender dysphoria. And as apprehensive as I am, you know, you got to some extent trust some of the medical system, and hopefully it goes well. All the data we have shows that it's the right way to go. You'd still be uncomfortable with it. I understand wanting for people to wait till they're 18. Not even just because their mental development gets better, but just about another factor is like how toxic high school can be. You know, for kids, and it can be like a really intense time. Like everything feels like the end of the world. You know, you fart in class once and it stays with you forever. So I feel like, you know, that could really give people, you know, could make people feel a particular way too. Damn, this fucking glyph is amazing. Holy shit. Or whatever it's called. But okay, yeah.
like for instance, I started my transition when I was 16. If I were to wait, I would have had to end up doing a lot more surgeries than I eventually had to do, because I would have completed male puberty. So if I already knew I was trans, everything worked out in like 13 years into my transition, and I have no regrets. If I were to have to wait, it would have ended up making my transition a lot more difficult.
Yeah, sure, maybe.
Yeah, that's the purpose of things like puberty blockers and stuff like that.
Like
that's why they do that.
Like in an honest conversation, because it is.
Sure, I think that the argument is like, oh, you know, making sure people know for sure first. That's what they're apprehensive about. It's not that, like, obviously that's definitely the positive, but then, you know, their argument is like, oh, dude, how many people are we misdiagnosing potentially? And I'm not saying that there even is a high amount. I don't think we have enough evidence right now, considering this is something somewhat new when it comes to, like, you know, people that are younger transitioning. We need more data on it. But I think that that's more the concern.
It's a difficult conversation. Like, I definitely think that there should be like a cap on the earliest that you can start hormones. Because for instance, I've heard that like people who start before puberty starts in the beginning have problems having orgasms as adults, which I think is really weird. And sometimes they don't have enough like penile tissue to end up doing sexual reassignment surgery. There are alternatives to it, obviously, but it's like such a deep conversation. I hear people can't like get past the first hurdle of saying that minors can go under these processes to begin with, that I never get to that point.
There's also like the common like misconception that we see like a lot of people, especially on the far right, talking about how like, oh, these kids are like, the term they use is mutilating their genitals as children, and it's like, that's not happening. That's not actually happening.
Bro, I do that every time I jerk off, man. I no lotion, you know what I'm saying, dude? Just full. And then afterwards, you know, sometimes you grip a little too tight after hour 2, and all of a sudden, it just looks like a mushroom head because you squeeze it so hard. You squeeze it so hard.
And some of the most outspoken advocates for trans youth, they're not even advocating for that. So it's like really crazy to see like these narratives being pushed for things that aren't actually taking place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean,
but
I feel like you know my opinion on trans people like pretty well from all the pro stuff I've said, like in DMs and publicly and all that too.
What the hell is that?
Like, I don't know why you would take that and think I'm transphobic versus thinking I'm like just uninformed on the topic.
I think it really, I don't want to do guilt by association. It really does come down a lot to that. Because like obviously like you have friends that have a lot more transphobic opinions than you who would disagree with the positions that you have, and because it's all like the same community, the audience is like so intermingled that whenever a trans person would end up getting into some sort of argument with anyone in the commentary community, in a negative way, there would be like groypers and shit in their replies. And it's not necessarily anything that you did. It's just like the laissez-faire attitude of a lot of people in the commentary community that makes it so this happens.
Okay.
And then those people will get equally as mad when I say something like pro-trans. Like, I can't, like, I'm not trying to cater to any specific audience. I'm just saying what I think on Twitter. And obviously when I say something in a
I wish like a caterer would cater to me right now. I'm hungry as fuck, boy. I'm fat as hell, man. I'm hungry. You know?
YouTube video, it's way, way, way more like researched and definitive. Like Twitter, I just kind of throw out like kind of opinions I have for the sake of starting discussion or whatever. But on YouTube,
Twitter
I'm very much
so
like firm in everything I say.
And
and my YouTube audience, I mean, it's literally like multiple times bigger than Augie and Nick's. And it's like,
oh damn,
it's not all the same audience, but
throw that shit.
I really appreciate it because like of all of the people I've mentioned so far, you've been like the most open, like the most receptive person to actually talking to me. You've made videos where you actually say something positive about me, where if I do anything anyone likes in that community, they're never going to actually mention that because they hate me so much.
Yeah, and you say you appreciate that, which I believe, but then you go and jump to the conclusion that I'm transphobic instead of DMing me.
So why try so hard to be part of that community? I don't really understand. Like, are you trying to like invade them to make them less transphobic or something? I don't really get it. Like, if it's something that bothers you so much, like why is she trying so hard to talk to people in that community? I mean, I guess maybe she's trying to change their minds. I don't know. Whatever.
I think it's just like I have so much distrust around that community because of the way that I'm treated and because of how the audience ends up intermingling with the far right, that it was easy for me to jump the gun. I am sorry. I didn't know that you were using that
your
account
apology.
like that.
And hopefully you do understand that, like,
pick this up.
that account was just a joke and I was just playing into it because I felt like after you blocked me, like that was kind of the only way I could do it. That wasn't like harsh or whatever. I don't know. I was just...
Yeah.
I'm also trying
it's more likely that he just kind of upset, so he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna keep trolling her. Fuck it, you know? Dude, take up the fucking items. Oh, my tits, my balls right now. Okay, cool. Got it.
help people realize that, like, when the account leaked, a lot of people are like, oh, this is real opinions, but through those replies, I'm like helping people realize, hey, it's just a joke. And I'm probably also not going to tweet on that account ever again.
Josh, you're just like me. You're literally just like me. You don't even understand. You remember like the fucking Catboy Ranch account? You remember like all the
I know there was like a drama around Catboy Ranch and shit, yeah.
Yeah. Whenever they pull up old tweets from that account, people don't understand that entire account was a bit where I was playing a character, and they assume it's like 100% what I earnestly believe, which sounds fucking unhinged.
Wait, so she also had an alt troll account where she would say stuff that people would interpret poorly, and she would be like, no, it's just an unhinged joke. It's almost impossible for her not to be empathetic to Bowblax at this point, right? I don't even know what the fuck she was saying on it, but like, how is it that you do the exact same behaviors as him, and yet you don't extend any charitability to him? It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what? Okay. Cool. This doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. Or what's happening here? Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, and like with me, it's like so obvious too. So you kind of made the same mistake that everyone was making towards you.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I ended up talking to you about this.
Yeah, I think what's important also for like Bowblax to understand. I think Bowblax is like one of the most reasonable people in the commentary community, which is why he's willing to have conversations like this. But you got to understand from like Keffel's perspective, like there's so many people for the past like couple years or so that have been up her ass about every little thing that she does. She's got like Kiwi Farms coming after her. She's got the commentary community coming after her. She's got people from the left coming after her. Like everybody.
I don't know, man. After a while I was listening to this, I can kind of see why. I don't know, dude. Like, she seems to have the exact same growth arc as Bowblax, and yet she's being so disproportionate towards him. Like, it sounds, I don't know, like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. It just comes off as, like, ingenuine. So, okay.
At her constantly. So you can understand why somebody who's in that position would be super fucking defensive, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, but like the thing is, like, with that tweet, I didn't even go after her though. It just existed and it happened to get leaked, and then you're like punching me while I'm down.
If it
like, I didn't even provoke you.
If it makes you feel any better, Bowblax, when Clara and I first started talking, she didn't instantly like trust me either. She was super reserved with me as well. It took her a while to realize that, okay, he's not like them. You know what I mean? So
well, there's a difference between being reserved and being like, accusing somebody of transphobia. Like, I'm reserved of Keffels, but I'm not like going out there and saying she's grooming kids or like whatever the fuck other people say.
There's obviously like I think that was one thing that you misunderstood with like that tweet that I made, where it was like a really vague tweet, because there was a discourse going on trans Twitter, and I did not want to directly get involved, so I didn't want to name who it was about. But I think maybe you're just like a really like blunt, honest, you say exactly how you feel about a given situation.
Okay.
But a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people, even if they feel like pretty negative or like they don't
and I didn't they
don't like trans people, they're not going to say it, especially if they're on the left, because if they're a leftist content creator and they say like trans people are groomers, their career is over immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, well, with that tweet again, like
So is she trying to say that she thought Bowblax might be the person that thinks that, or I don't understand what the fuck her point. Like, what's happening at this point? Like, what's the point of any of the more of this? Okay, whatever.
I wanted asking who it was because I just wanted to know. Like, I didn't even think it was about me until you implied it was about me.
Okay.
So like, I don't know. Like, honestly, like listening to all of this, like besides the mistake of me like leaking Tipster's DMs without asking him, like, I don't know. I think you fucked up more than me, but
based. I agree.
Because you're just assuming a lot of things about me. I never assumed anything about you.
I just think it was like a misunderstanding all around.
I don't think
like
that's
a huge
true.
misunderstanding.
I don't think so.
I don't think a misunderstanding should escalate to someone falsely calling me a transphobe. Like, I do think I understand the reason.
It's funny because after like more of this conversation, I'm like more on Bowblax's side because of her history. Like literally, you guys have the same history of making like edgy jokes, and having like a joking tweet accounts where people take you too seriously and you're just trolling. So how the fuck can you not extend that to Bowblax? It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up at all. Does not add up at all.
But I do think she went over the line, right?
Because
Sorry,
I thought
you can talk now.
Oh no,
My
I
bad.
thought you said that already. That you already have a pretty negative opinion of me, and I know that your friends do as well.
What?
Like you were talking about like that one group chat. So obviously, it would make sense for me to assume like our interactions would be in bad faith, right?
No.
Did I say I had a negative view of you? Didn't I say this they did? I don't know.
I could have swore he was just talking about how he doesn't have a negative view of her, and like he just said that where she was like, "Oh, I'm apprehensive about trusting people." He was like, "Oh, I do the same, I guess." Like, what is she? Is she making things up? Oh, whatever. Okay.
Just
What up,
just
girl?
heard things. I don't really know. But yeah,
I
I mean,
think-
still, you came at me unprovoked. You just came at me unprovoked, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I was mad. I feel like I'm justified in being mad in the way
No,
that the
I don't
community
think
has
so.
treated me over the last
But
year.
It's like
putting that on me
But
No,
is not fair.
It's like I said, I can agree with you, Bowblax, that it probably wasn't fair to like put that on you. But again, you have to like understand her perspective.
have
That she has
to.
so many people constantly coming
I
at
don't
her.
think it's her
so
real
she's going to be
perspective,
defensive.
so-
That's all I'm trying to
Also-
say. Is you can understand. You
No.
can
I
understand
think
where
that
she's coming
there's
And I
I
have
think that
people
there's
coming at me calling me fucking all sorts of shit because of this fucking DM leak or this account leak. So it's like, I don't know. We all have to deal with shit online. Like, we should treat people as individuals, not as like an extension of a group.
for sure, but as much as we can recognize that people are individuals, group dynamics do influence individual
Swear to-
people's
Oh,
behavior.
what the fuck, man?
Like people are going to play along with what the group dynamic is because they don't want to get ostracized from that group.
What is this?
I can speak with that from personal experience. When I was a part of the commentary community, there were behaviors I had engaged in that I wouldn't previously engage in, just because like, oh, well, that's like what we do in this community. So like, I can totally understand like what she's saying. There are things.
What? Why? I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. What? Why? Like what? Wait, hold on. You were doing behaviors that you normally wouldn't engage in because you were in commentary community? That's weird.
Previously engage in. I can speak with that from personal experience. When I was a part of the commentary community, there were behaviors I had engaged in that I wouldn't previously engage in, just because like, oh, well, that's like what we do in this community.
Okay. I'm a little just confused by that. I'm not just to be an asshole, but aren't you like 30 something? Like I feel like there are times I did behaviors I'm not proud of now looking back, but he's saying that there were behaviors that he previously thought were bad but decided to engage in them because the people in the commentary community were doing. Why what? Or you're like okay.
So like, I can totally understand like what she's saying. There are things that I did and I participated in when I was a part of that community that I look back at and I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of the fact that I engaged in those behaviors.
Okay.
But it was like she said, it's like a group dynamic.
I mean, people do
You're
influence
influenced
each
by
other
the
for
peop-
sure.
Yeah, you're influenced by the
But
people around you.
that account, no, even Nick and Augie and shit didn't know it existed. They were freaking out on Twitter about it.
That I wouldn't previously engage. I can speak with that from personal experience. When I was a part of the commentary community, there were behaviors I had engaged in that I wouldn't previously engage in.
Okay.
Saying it's like funny or whatever, and like all those a lot of those tweets are from before I even met them. So it's like, and again, it was just me playing like a character. I never believed any of this. I don't want to fuck Joe Biden.
Why?
So it's like,
Do you have a source to back up that claim?
Yeah, we need to see proof that you don't want to fuck Joe Biden.
Jesus.
Oh man. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's pretty much been cleared up that it's a big misunderstanding, and I think that it was probably a good idea to have this conversation to sort it
I
out.
think there's also this I think there's this assumption about me, and I understand where it comes from. That a lot of people in the commentary community, they see me as this like nasty platformer that I want to ruin everyone's career and that I want to like make everyone who crosses me in some insignificant way suffer, and that's really not true. Like,
I mean, if you take what happened today and just look at it at face value, it kind of does look true.
Yeah, true.
I mean, how is this different from other internet beef in the commentary community?
Why not just like take accountability for you instead of blaming everything on everybody else? I mean, again, you seem to be an incredibly edgy person that likes jokes, and you're getting on his back for the same thing. You had your own joke tweet account. He had one. Like, why not have like? Where's the empathy for that? Like, why aren't you empathetic to that? You've gone through that experience. Like, it's the same criticism that I've had of like Ethan Klein, for instance, in the past, where he seems to go after people pretty intensely, even though like he's engaged in similar behaviors. You know. Like there seems to be a lack of empathy in some cases, and too much in other. Well, not too much, but like this Bowblax situation, like there's a good amount of empathy from Ethan, which is great towards his bad behaviors. But then like, where's that empathy for like Gideon and stuff? You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't know, where's your empathy for Bowblax? You're literally the person that had the bad behavior. I don't understand.
People don't immediately call each other transphobes based on tweets that are like 2 years old or 4 years old on alt accounts. And most people in commentary don't jump to conclusions calling people like pedos or transphobes or whatever. Unless
Wait,
there's, like,
you don't think
definitive
that
proof.
people in the commentary community don't immediately assume people are pedophiles based on limited evidence? One of Augie's first interactions with me was calling me a pedophile.
Whoa.
I don't think
didn't
Augie
even know-
legitimately thinks you're a pedophile.
I
That's
mean,
still
not
not
now,
something you
but
should do, but
this is what you're saying. People just jump the moment that they're handed that because it's like an instant W if you have even the slightest amount of proof, no matter how flimsy it is.
Well, I don't have an encyclopedia on everything anyone has ever said in the commentary community, but just because the commentary community does something bad of like saying you're a pedo when you're not doesn't mean you can now call me a transphobe when I'm not.
Oh yeah, wait, no, this is
Like,
true. Aren't
two
people
bads
bringing
don't
up
make
like
a
the
right.
tipster? Haven't people been bringing up the tipster lolly stuff again, just like out of nowhere as an own?
Yeah, and like
Augie
that's
said, didn't
that shit was fucking sussy, bro. I don't know how the fuck you defended that. That's a rough one. I don't know. I don't think he's like a bad guy or anything. I just don't understand how you. I saw the picture, and I don't know how. I just don't know how you could ever look at that and go, that's not child porn. You know what I mean? I just feel like it's well, it's technically not an actual child, right? But it is still about as close as you could get otherwise. So it's not good. I don't know how you could defend that and just saying it's like not CP. That's weird to me. But
you debate Augie and you came to the conclusion that like he never called you a pedo?
I remember a conversation with her and Bosch.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. I think.
I mean, he was really as
What do
far
I
as
have
I
to do here?
remember,
Say
he
the bit.
basically
Oh, okay.
he basically said, well, you know, stay away from minors, but I don't actually remember how that ended. I just know that
I think
what
he
I
said
remember
that
from the conversation was
okay, you can say.
Yeah, what I remember from the conversation was something along the lines of like, he said that he wasn't insinuating you were a pedophile, and then you just disagreed that you didn't believe him. That's kind of
Okay,
like how it ended, if I remember
I
correctly.
don't know what they're talking about. So
I thought the
okay.
argument was just about Keffels keeping her Discord 18 plus.
I don't know. I don't remember the specifics of that. I just remembered like at one point in the conversation, she's saying, "Well, you insinuated I was a pedophile," and he says, "Well, that's not what I was doing," and then she said, "Well, I don't believe you."
Okay.
I don't know, like Keffels.
yeah, we're going
really off track.
Yeah, we're getting kind of.
But like, I feel like I'm saying that Keffels was pretty unjustified in calling me a transphobe based on all this stuff that I mentioned, and it just seems like Keffels just keeps bringing up excuses like, oh, but Augie said this, oh, but Nick said this, oh, but
she already conceded. On
yeah,
that.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Did she? I thought she kept saying that.
Yeah,
it was-
no,
That's how
I feel if you're part of a group, I feel like it's not guilt by association to assume that you might agree with some of the stuff that they're saying, especially when you won't like.
So when you say stuff and Tipster's friends with you, and then people assume that Tipster endorses everything you say, you think that is like a fair assessment for them to make?
Well, it's a fair assessment to make originally when it comes to like, oh, if you're friends with somebody, there's a higher chance that you endorse what they say, unless you know the other person. And it seems like she kind of knows him a little bit more than not. You know, she was flirting with him in DMs and shit. So, you know, I mean, why are you trying to fuck a transphobe there, Keffels, if you think... Because that shit was very flirtatious. And there's nothing wrong with that. Shoot your shot, you know? I always say that girls need to shoot their shots more, right? But still, you know? Oh, fuck my balls.
What's an example of something that happened recently like that?
I could tell you one. There was
9/11?
you made a joke in response to Keemstar where you called him a pedophile, and everybody got super mad about that.
Oh,
like,
why
well,
would you call him a pedophile?
You know, Tipster okay with them calling her a pedophile? And they started trying to dig up clips of like, can we find a clip of Tipster defending Keemstar's relationship with Brantley? And it's like, well, what does that have to do with anything? Yeah, I did defend his relationship with Brantley because there were like retards on the internet saying he was a pedophile for dating a 19-year-old girl, which is legal fucking age, right? So what does that have to do? Me defending his relationship because it's not pedophilia. What does that have to do with Keffels calling Keemstar a pedophile as a joke?
Yeah, I mean, it's not pedophilia. I still think it's really gross, but it's not pedophilia. It's not.
Why is it really gross? What? Bro, people are so weird on the internet when it comes to like any of this shit. It's not really gross. I think it's immature. But like, who cares? She's a fucking adult. It's like, who gives a shit? Why call? Whatever. Okay. Just like, who gives a fuck? Was she like 25 now or something? Like, like what? Who gives a fuck?
Not legally doing anything wrong.
It's
So
it's
that's
really
an example
gross.
of, like,
Why?
We're like, well, why isn't Tipster like calling this out?
Why is it
Because
gross?
She called Keemstar a pedophile. And it's like I don't dictate what Keffels says. She's her own person.
Yeah. When Keffels consistently like makes over exaggerations about what she thinks about people to the point of labeling them in that way, and then people think that she's out to get everybody.
That's a good point.
Isn't that a fair assessment? Like,
who am I out to get?
Keemstar by calling him a pedo? Isn't that a fair assessment for someone
I
to
am
make based
not
on
the
looking at
first-
that tweet?
I'm not the first person to call him that.
Okay, that doesn't make it okay. Like, okay.
I'm far from
Okay,
the
does
first
that
person to say that? Like, I'm not going to like ruin his life or end his career by calling him something he's been getting called for a decade.
I also don't think it's fair to like make a big deal about when she says it, because like there's definitely been cases where people in the commentary community have jokingly called people pedophiles, and it's whatever.
I think the point he's making is that like she seems to she has a history of I don't know. Didn't she get like Destiny banned or something for some fucking shit? Like she seems to have like kind of a history of like going after people and actually like, you know, hurting their bottom dollar, I suppose we would say. But okay, trying to get them banned in some capacity, you know. Didn't she go after like the quarterings money? Which, whatever, I don't really care. I mean, you know, I guess he was being I think from what I remember, he was being transphobic, so it's fine to ask businesses like, oh, are you okay with this? They were, so hey, fuck it, right? But it seems like she does that a lot, so that makes sense. I don't know. People would interpret it as some kind of a call to action or something a little more serious than if somebody else does it, but
just kind of seeing for what it is. It's a joke. Like, I can't remember who it was.
It's just a joke, guys, except for when Bowblax does it. I'm gonna come.
I want to say like 2 years ago, there was somebody that Augie called a pedophile when he got really mad in an argument against him. I don't remember who that person was. It was like some like little try-hard small commentator, right? But to act like Keffels is the only one throwing around pedophile as a joke is pretty dishonest.
Funny joke, guys.
I think this is
I never
what
said that. I just said that like it's reasonable to think she's out to get people when she's labeling them like transphobes.
I do think it's kind of weird though to be like, oh man, Keffels like called someone a pedophile, and it's like, well, you guys have done it too as a joke. I mean, when the lolly shit was happening, there were jokes made that insinuated I was a pedophile. And like,
reacting, you think I reacted too harshly when she said it was gross? No, I don't. I don't think I reacted too harshly at all. It's not gross. What's gross about a 25-year-old and like a 40-year-old dating? Who gives a fuck? Why is it gross? You could think it's like weird, fine, immature, fine, but gross? What's gross about it? Like, what aspect makes it like disgusting? That doesn't make any sense. It's a disproportionate language. Every time we talk about anything on the internet, it becomes so massively disproportionate over and over and over and over again, especially when it comes to like that conversation about kids and shit. So like that's constantly happening. So like I'm giving pushback on something that you probably don't think is a big deal because like it's, but I do just fundamentally because people are just so dumb when it comes to like discourse, when it comes to like young people and shit. You know, everything is like fucking pedophilia, everything is grooming, everything is this, everything is that. You know, it's not gross. It's fucking like 20-something-year-old woman, who cares?
People from
I'm being harsh, but not too harsh. I'm being proportionately harsh. I'm speaking out against the man, guys, okay? Alright? That's all I'm doing.
the audience came away from that thinking that I was a pedophile who like consumes lolicon.
Well, I mean, that it's a little different. I mean, I don't think that you are that, but that is a little suspicious to defend that picture so harshly. It doesn't make any sense. I just don't get it. But
well, when Keffels just called me a transphobe this morning,
this is what I tried
was
to
that a
explain
joke?
to Augie. This is what I try to explain to Augie. Sometimes when you guys joke about stuff, the dipshits in the audience don't get that it's a joke. And so like with that,
but wouldn't that apply to Keffels making pedophile jokes too? I don't understand like why. How come everybody is like there's like okay, whatever
situation, they made a bunch of jokes about me defending lolicon and shit like that. So the audience came away from that thinking I was a lolicon and a pedophile.
Okay,
but you can see why that. You can see why that situation. Like, I'm just gonna be real because when I had the
Oni-chan, huh? Could I be an actress? Yeah, sure. You guys ever see those things on TikTok of like the girls go on stage and they try to say like Oni-chan as sounding as much like a child as possible? It's fucking creepy, and people like cheer so loud for it. It's so weird. I mean, they can try to find it. It's very bizarre behavior though. Every time I watch it, I just get upset. You know, I'm just like, damn. I hope that's not my son. You know what I mean? I gotta make sure my son doesn't become like some kind of an anime nerd. You know? Just goddamn.
Conversation with Augie, I was trying to keep things cordial. I was trying to go my own way, but also keep things like we weren't leaving on bad terms. But I'm just gonna be real. That's why the whole leaving the commentary community thing, that was a bridge burner for me. Because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, listen. I think this is the contest. Yo, stop attacking me, bro. What are you doing? I ain't about that, live dog. Okay, I think this is the contest.
Silencio todos, alistando la cámara. Ahí estamos. Senpai. Jesse, tú Oni-chan.
What is that? It's a competition, bro. It's an Oni-chan competition, dude. It's wild. It's wild. I don't understand it. Why would you do that? You know, this is crazy. Dude, they fucking cheer for it. That's insane. Oh my god. Oh my god, this was the best one. You sound just like a baby. It's fucking wild.
Hey, maybe you guys were joking, but the audience came away from that thinking I was a fucking pedophile.
Crazy, dude. Crazy.
That was the bridge burner for me. That's why I decided I'm done.
I was maybe just.
So now you guys don't have to question anymore. Now you just know.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Things are
well, if
getting
anyone calls
serious.
you a pedo, I'll go out of my way to say, hey, Tip's not a pedo, chill. But so I haven't seen that. But like, you say like, oh well, Keffels makes jokes about pedos too. Was Keffels calling me a transphobe today a joke? Didn't seem
No,
like it.
I didn't make it as a joke.
I did.
I don't.
So
like,
like,
throw it around as a
so
joke.
when people see those types of tweets and then say you're trying to like go after people and ruin them, isn't that like a fair assessment based on the tweet you made today about me?
No, I don't think so. Like, I don't think that
Troy the
saying that
skeletal
automatically
contrast.
means that you're getting ruined or that I want to ruin you. I don't.
Well, it won't like obviously like end my career completely, obviously, right? But saying that like I'm transphobic in front of like 100,000 people plus on Twitter is not helpful and is very damaging to me, especially when I'm trying to share my beliefs in a community that you admit is a little too like right wing. Like I'm coming out sticking my neck out, being like, hey,
I mean,
I'm pro-trans or whatever, and then you just call it a lie. Like that's kind of to all the people who would appreciate me saying that. Like, what's that going to do? Just alienate all the pro-trans people away from my audience and help me continue. And then the only people left are like the transphobes.
I'll make a deal with you. I will literally never say anything like that ever again, and I will be your #1 fucking hype trans woman forever.
If you will go on a date with me, she's about to hit him with the Riz.
If you actually call out Leafy, because it's like he's calling for trans Holocaust on his stream. He's like dead naming me consistently. He's like going after.
He's genuinely said fucked up things on his stream.
He's
Yeah,
like
I've noticed.
Yeah, why do people care about Leafy? Like, I don't understand. He's just kind of a loser, no? I mean, like, didn't he get fucking taken off a kick because he tried to, like, he was, like, fucking showing nudes of Destiny's wife or whatever? Like, just dumb, childish shit. Where's my fucking gear, dude? What the hell? Well, I don't even know why people care about that guy anymore. He just says, like, homophobic things or whatever, just for, like, the LOLs to try to get, like, just to maintain relevancy. It's kind of pathetic, but...
You don't need to be a hype girl for me. You don't need to be a hype girl for me, but I will say, like, what Leafy is saying, even if it is a joke, which I don't know if it is or not, but even if it is, like, regardless, it's, like, fucked up. He's going, like, way too far.
The thing is, like, I understand, like, some people, like, make edgy jokes or whatever, but I don't think that a lot of times when they make those jokes, they realize that those jokes bolster the opinions of legitimately bad faith actors.
Well,
I think maybe Leafy does realize that. I don't like what Leafy's doing at all, and I'll say that.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if I have said that. I mean, I've always had that opinion, and I've said that in streams. I don't know if I said it in private, public, whatever. But yeah, I'm comfortable saying that. Like, I'm not gonna lie about my opinions or whatever. But yeah, you don't need to be a hype girl for me on Twitter. You can just like.
I'm okay. I just
want to be around you so bad.
Like the only thing I've seen the commentary community say so far was that one incident where Destiny talked about trying to deplatform Leafy from Rumble and like siding with Leafy. I haven't seen any condemnation, and he's going so fucking far.
Crazy.
Like.
What was Bowblax? Because I'll be honest, like I have most of the commentary community blocked or muted at this point, so I have no idea what's going on. What was their take on what he did to Destiny's wife on stream?
Generally that it's like fucked up and it makes sense that he's mad at him for it, but he shouldn't get Leafy deplatformed for it.
Yeah, you should. I'm gonna time you out, brother. You keep saying Christian. I know you want me to watch Christian, but you too much. Why? I hate this like purist, like don't get anybody deplatform kind of like. He's literally, I mean, that is a pretty intense form of like, I mean, he's showing nudes of his wife. I don't know if all of them were even on OnlyFans or if some of them were leaked, but like, let's just say they're all from her OnlyFans. Like, that's still inappropriate. He's showing porn on there. And he's showing like, it's just, and it's a pathetic attention grab because Destiny doesn't want to talk to him. Like, who cares? Like, obviously you should know better than to do that. So he got his shit taken away. Like, oh well, like it is what it is. Don't act like a fucking idiot then. It's dumb. Oh, I did not mean to buy that.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I disagree. I think that's ban-worthy. I genuinely think that's ban-worthy. That's a step way too fucking far.
Too fucking far.
I wouldn't cry if Leafy got banned over it, but like, I mean, I don't
like
wanna,
if it were me in Destiny's shoes, I would 100% be behind the scenes screaming to the person at Rumble, "Why are you allowing this to happen?"
Okay.
Yeah, my criticism of Destiny is that he said the reason he won't have Leafy on is because he's clout hungry and trying to reestablish his audience, which I think is a cope. I think the real reason why he wouldn't want Leafy on is because of the leaking nudes and all the crazy trans shit he's saying. And
well, it was before the leaked nudes. He said that, and that's what prompted Leafy to do that. And like, yeah, that's absolutely true. That makes perfect sense for him to come to that conclusion.
That is a legitimate reason, but the reason he brought up, I think, in my opinion, is cope. And that was my entire argument. As for everything else, like, yeah, Leafy's definitely like going off the deep end. I don't like how far he's going with the stuff he's saying and doing. But
has Leafy gone too far?
Yeah,
I don't disagree with Destiny. I think that he is like doing whatever he can to like desperately cling on to any bit of clout that he has left. If he can make these outrageous, ridiculous statements and it makes him stay relevant, yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Okay.
Because he was always like incredibly edgy, and right now the flavor of the gear for edginess is transphobia. And he's
gotten way. His comeback right now is way more edgy than he ever was in the past. I'll say that.
I didn't used to watch his content, so I actually like I think I watched a few videos like in the year he got banned, and yeah, I was nowhere near this. I do wonder if he was always this edgy and he was just dialing it back to try to not get banned, and now that he's on Rumble, he's just like going full hog. But I can only speculate.
Full hog.
My feeling is that because the Rumble audience is the way that it is, they're so extreme. I think he's just pandering to them.
Okay.
That's my thought process on it, but I don't know.
Cool.
I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it's this is sort of what I mean though with why I'm so defensive, why I'm like quick to jump on things, because I'm so used to all of these audiences being intermingled. Like you look at Leafy's chat or like the streams that he does, and his chat is full of people like spamming Kiwi emotes. It's full of groypers. There are multiple swastika profile pictures. He's watching neo-Nazi documentaries on stream and talking to Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
And then you have
it's pretty
Augie,
wild.
who's like,
Have you never watched one of these streams, Bowblax?
Why would he?
I watched one of them, and I did not like what I saw.
Yeah, it's insane some of the shit that he does on these fucking streams. Like, holy shit. Any other platform he would have been on, he would have been long gone by now.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I basically had to make a rule of just like non-engagement with him because he's really obsessed with me for some reason.
Maybe it's because you DM'd him a picture of your jiggling boobs. Maybe you did that to Leafy too. I don't know.
And like I decided not to engage. He followed me back on Twitter. I blocked him. He's still like doing streams about
He followed you back on Twitter? Did you have him follow?
me.
He
And
did one
the
just
entire-
last night, didn't he? Just last night he did another stream on you, right?
Yeah, it was just like last night. And I just really wish the commentary community would say something, but it's like that same attitude that I was so critical of. Where like, for instance, with Tom, he will be incredibly critical of me, but then he will have Null, the founder of Kiwi Farms, on his stream and then treat him with kid gloves, even though Null is implicated in multiple people's suicides.
Damn, that's rough.
He won't even touch the topic. He won't try and refute the topic, even though these are very well documented circumstances.
Okay.
But I don't know anything about that, honestly, so I can't comment on it. But
Same.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could keep talking, but a lot of the stuff is like out of my realm of knowledge.
We got to confront Turkey Tom on his getting bullying Internet Jay off the platform. That's more important than anything else. He got our boy Jay gone.
Knowledge. So you know, and I do
Skills,
have other
fucking
stuff to do
deal,
today, so
change
I'm gonna
for
hop off.
factory.
But
Okay.
yeah, good talk, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
no.
conversation was super productive.
Cool.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Later.
Is that it? Are we done?
Alrighty
All right.
then. Well, that went pretty good,
Hi.
right?
All right. There's an extra 10 minutes.
Wait, did I get
or
booted too? Am I
No,
still
you're
here?
still here. You're still here.
4 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you up
whatever.
to at the moment? It's probably like crazy late for you or something.
Oh
right?
yeah, it's like midnight in Ireland.
Guess we'll-
I just got in from like hanging out with my family. Tomorrow I'm hanging out with my mom for her birthday.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's fun then.
am I
That was
doing that?
interesting.
Yeah, that went a lot better than I thought it was. Well, because like when I first called him in, I DM'd him and I'm like, you need to get on my stream right now because I'm fucking mad, dude. I was really mad that he leaked my DMs and like, so it's the conversation started really hot, but as things kind of calmed down and he kind of started explaining the way he felt, I was like, well, why don't you just talk to Keffels then? Like I can bring her in and like if she's down, like we can have a conversation. So I think it was ultimately pretty good that that happened.
I found it interesting that like when it came to the topic of like Leafy, he started getting on. And just in case he ends up clipping this or someone clips and send it to him, I'm not calling him transphobic or asking for like his career to end. This is not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to analyze the situation a bit. I found it interesting that he started getting uncomfortable on the topic of condemnations of Leafy or talking about like how his friends specifically treat me. Because he doesn't want to weigh in because he knows like if he weighs in, this is going to end up on like RFC or something.
Yeah, like it could potentially
Maybe.
like rock the boat. And these things happen. I can speak from this for experience.
I don't think it would rock the boat with his friends. I mean, maybe he's afraid of like commentary community backlash, I guess. Just whatever. Okay, who cares?
Where like I'll have a different take on something than the rest of the group, and it's like, oh, Tipster's like a fucking retard, and that becomes like a conversation for like a week or whatever of like Tipster had this bad take.
you know, not to bring it up too much, but here's, you know, this is something that I remember back when I was having like my discourse with like Bowblax and Stardust, where we had like our conversation about using the R slur stuff. You know, guys know how I feel about that, all that jazz. And I just remember after that, I remember seeing something from Tipster where he's like, yeah, guys, I don't think people should be using the R slur. And then Keffel said it. And then he's like, oh, it's not that big a deal, it's just a word, and then he's using it. I don't know. It just comes off as weird to me. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. But whatever.
Agree with. So these things happen, and I'm not necessarily saying that's why Bowblax is kind of approaching the subject with kid gloves, because I don't know. I don't want to assume how he feels or what he thinks, but it's not inconceivable to think that that may be the case.
Well, that's why, and I've said this before, I think that's why they treated you the way that they did. Like, they want to make an example of people who they perceive as stepping out of line.
Yeah, Bowblax in the chat says, I'm not just uninformed. I'm just uninformed. I'm not scared of saying anything because of friend backlash. Okay, fair enough. But I do think for some people those things happen, though, where a lot of people are afraid to get out of line, and they're afraid to say certain things because they feel like...
I mean, to be fair, like, I would also be afraid if I had never been on the receiving side of Kiwi Farms to say something about what I was just talking about.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I can be completely honest now. Looking at certain situations, there's like certain topics that I had a different opinion of than the guys, and I just, rather than kind of sharing my different opinion and dealing with like, well, am I really in the mood to get like shit on because I think differently than them? I just didn't touch the topic at all. There were topics I stayed away from because I'm just like, I don't want any.
I don't do that. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit, dude. I don't care anymore, bro. I really don't give a fuck. That's why I have my that's the biggest reason why I made my Colleen Ballinger take, where like I think that she was acting very inappropriately, but she's not some kind of like a fucking groomer. She can groom anybody, even though like obviously everybody's staying away from that topic, regardless of what they're if they disagree with it, because it's just like crazy. It's part of the internet going fucking insane. You know, you can criticize somebody's bad behavior without bringing it to like, you know, unrealistic spaces. It's fucking wild.
I don't want to deal with that shit right now. So in the past, that's definitely happened.
Yeah, I think one thing for me is that my audience doesn't intermingle basically at all with the commentary community. So like, I don't know, if I get on their bad side, it doesn't actually affect me.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, it's getting kind of late over there.
I should go to bed.
You should probably go to bed, but thanks for coming on. We got to hang out more often.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, this was nice.
Yeah, I set up a server for like trusted callers because sometimes I have downtime on my streams where people that I'm friendly with can just call in.
Yeah.
I'll send you an invite link to that server, and you're welcome to hop in anytime if you ever want.
Awesome. I hope you enjoyed the JonTron debate.
Yeah, we listened to a little bit of it. I mean, obviously, I watched that live when it happened. So this isn't my first time seeing it, but it was kind of fun revisiting it again tonight. I remember watching you when you revisited it too. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Get some sleep, damn it.
Okay. Peace out.
Peace. Oh, chat. I gotta be honest. I didn't think that was gonna go as well as it did. Cause I'm gonna be honest. I was pretty fucking mad when I started that conversation with Bowblax. I was pissed, dude. Cause I'm like, God damn it. Why is it every time I'm friends with someone that like gets into drama, I get dragged into this shit? So that's why I was like really mad. But I'm glad we had that conversation. I think that some miscommunications between you know, myself and Bowblax, and then also Keffels and Bowblax were able to be resolved. And then also it gave me kind of an opportunity to kind of open up about some
Epic
things that bothered
outro,
me,
baby.
in the past, and rather than just kind of let it linger, just like be honest about it, you know. So I don't know. I think that was pretty good.
Okay, cool video. I'm feeling lonely. La 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 la.